and I'm just gonna get into it by telling everybody on today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we're gonna talk about Valentines. It's new, it's chocolatey, it's good, it's great. It might also kill you, like real chocolate. It's funny how that works. Also, there's a Grail Front thing, and you no longer need to ask Boudica animation update now. Hi, I'm one of your hosts, Omega. With me as always is Lucky, and today we are just two tired-ass boys. I'm pretty sure I can say that before 30 seconds. We're tired-ass boys today.
I'm pretty sure ass isn't in there. But anyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka a very sweet story. And while we here at Studiomega like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events about the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should be quiet in the library.
Shh. Everybody just shush it down, okay? We're gonna have a low-energy episode today. Lucky's already said he doesn't feel like doing a thumbnail, so that means I gotta pull something out of my butt. I'm just gonna be cool, okay, guys? Wow. Man, I don't know why I'm so sweepy. By the way, we did spend an extra 5 minutes before this started because for some unearthly reason, my brain has decided today is the day that my loopback effect sounds weird to me. My audio is perfectly fine, but it sounds weird to me right now in my head, and I just don't know why. Anyway, Tonikaku. We've gotten so far down this meme, by the way. I'm like noticing hardcore every time anybody says that in the Valentines, because they're voiced now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a fair amount of it. And then a lot of Toriaizu, because that's, as we had that discussion the other day, that's a subject changer.
Yes. Moving on.
Just like that. Hey, before we go anywhere else after all that stuff, I would like to remind you that this episode is still brought to you by our delicious, sweet, let's go with sweet patrons like Anna DeHarp, Ahanga Comics, Architect 10, Black as LG, Carlos, Qua, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Kylie Denton, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kester, Regent Raptor, Rogue Robin, Shiny P, some guy named Bob, Soda Son over 2 for 73 and Zach Reed. If you like what we do and want to see some more, consider supporting the Patreon and get access to those early on some videos every episode. Thank you for support, everybody.
Thank you.
Man, I really wish I had some like hot chocolate or something to sip really big there. But I don't. We're out of hot chocolate. I used it all up because it was cold.
I would like probably some hot chocolate and Bailey's right now. Bailey's Irish cream. A Irish cream liqueur. Very tasty. Put it in your hot chocolate.
I have some funny stories that are related to that, but those are definitely What's Up material. Let's see if I remember. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on What's Up, too. It's about video games, nerds, much like this podcast, which is about one particular video game. And we will give you tips on this video game by checking in with everybody's favorite Kohai. Rash.
Nice segue.
Senpai, 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. You can just call me a scooter, because I'm great at segues. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. This one's kind of ambiguous today, but this is a thing that FGO actually tweeted out, so I figured it was worth bringing up. So apparently there may be an issue with redeeming chocolates. I haven't seen anybody in, like, our community reporting it, but they have said that there may be, like, a potential discrepancy that can happen where you cannot redeem chocolates anymore, or you can't redeem the CEs. They, like, act like you've already got them when you don't. They're working on fixing it, I think. Like, they haven't reported it's been fixed. But just to make sure you don't, like, accidentally freak anything out, make sure you always keep at least one lock-on chocolate handy, and don't exceed the amount of chocolates you've exchanged for. So basically, don't, like, accidentally try and use too many chocolates, or anything, and that stops it from freaking out, I guess.
Yay.
So,
also,
cool,
just a clarification note, because I got yelly at some people and they got yelly in turn. Apparently you did not have to actually burn your fucking CEs to get the voice lines.
I have seen mixed messages on this. I mean, I went ahead and fed them, and now my Prismacosmos CE, which is my highest level one, is like level 70, so that's cool anyway, because I'm just going to get them all back. We'll talk more about that later. So I didn't have any problems either way. But yeah, I don't know if that's like a quality of life from like next year, because I remember 2 years ago this being a big thing. People were like, hey, I can't exchange any of my stuff, and they're like, you gotta get rid of the old ones for the new scenes to play, otherwise you can't be exchanged for while you still got stuff.
So, apologize to anyone, I apologize to anyone who went ahead and burnt their CEs, thinking that might be a problem, because, some people might, as I said, the Valentine CEs do count as bonuses and whatnot, so some people might have felt a little gimped. A little. By it.
Well, we'll see how people feel about some of that in mailbag later.
Yeah.
But that said, I think this points ladder is very rewarding. Like I said on the pregame, you literally do like one quest, you get like 1 points drop, and you've got like 4 of them, 4 rando chocos. So everybody should be okay for those points. We'll talk more about our chocolate results and how we're doing in the event later. In the meantime, let's check in with Records on the Throne, a regular achievement topic.
Alright, well, I'm first up here, so I will go. So Lucky made about 300 rolls, 293 to be exact, and walked out with MP2 Murasaki as well as MP4 Nightingale, plus MP4 Tomoe Goes and Pinth, wrapping up with a MP2 Kirky. Many event CEs. I was a little bit preloaded with this, and I was able to protect Murasaki's and Beniyama's smile. By the way, most of that, all that roll was all cash. I dropped cash and all of that. It was like, what's 5 times? Calculator-kun.
Begin calculation. Math begin.
Math begin.
No, 13. Math start.
I hit a wrong number, and the Mars rover has just crashed. God damn it. Alright, so $440 and 75 cents. Gone. Whoosh. And considering I just made another recent purchase that cost more than that, my finances are a little thin right now. Got the squeeze, got the press.
Well, luckily there was a little bit of cash infusion from the Patreon bucks.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, annual patrons. It goes into our budget at the start of the year, and then we gotta be careful. What was I doing? Oh, I was gonna check. I was thinking of the funny. I was gonna check what I did for the banner and the thumb last week. Sorry, I'm sleepy, okay? What is time, guys? I don't even know.
Just a miserable pile of digits? Have at you?
Close enough. Well, speaking of having
hot chocolate on the ground.
No, hot chocolate. Speaking of having it me, I'll report mine. Hey, if you want to talk about my luck sack skills, I did get Murasaki in my first 10 spin. Hey, that was after like 7 tickets, guys. I got a complete set of CEs, one of each, and I did get an MP4 Liz, and then I stopped after 3 rolls because my third roll was super cursed. I told Lucky about this beforehand. It was like 8 3-star servants, 1 non-event 4-star CE, and then some other trash non-event 3-star CE, and I was just like, okay, me. Clearly the game is telling you that you have expended your luck for the day, and you need to fucking stop. And I was just like, alright. That means that my currency growth isn't super, super high. It's okay, though, because this event seems very generous. But yeah, I got what I wanted, and this is why I said we should fly mission accomplished banners.
Yeah, we had a little bit about this with Omega before this show, but Lucky is kind of in a fucking mood, because of luck sacks in a general area. Now, I'm gonna put this out right here. I do not deny anyone their fucking luck and their CE and whatever and what they got. No, because, good on you. You got what you wanted, and however little it took, that's good. That's great. Like, I don't want to put a downer on that. But god damn it, I really feel like nowadays I can't get fucking jack shit unless I drop like $300 to $400 on something. And it's really killing my vibes. It really is. Like, Benny Emma, several $100. MP5 Autonomous, several $100. Fucking Miyu, couple $100. Murasaki, MP2, several $100. Like, fuck, I put down a little bit on Bradamante, didn't get her. Hecking Bryn killed my fucking wallet. Jonto killed my wallet. Merlin didn't kill my wallet, still had to pay money. Scotty didn't have to, actually, I don't think I had to spend money on Scotty if I remember correctly. I've been saving up. But I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't get anything. Well, that's a lie. I can't get most of things unless I'm spending like half my fucking paycheck, and I'm like, why?
Why? Desire sensor is weird, y'all. Actually, this reminded me of a thing that Lucky's also probably not going to be happy to hear, but I forgot to put into my notes, I think. Because the event didn't start until Wednesday. So, like, I actually had, like, a couple of tickets on the Prisma that I was spending to get those on all-rate update. I did actually score, like, a last-minute Miyu.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. Oh, by the way, though, guess what? Miyu wasn't the one I was aiming for. I was like, shit, is Medea Lily on rate up today? I'll throw some tickets. So it's like, the desire sensor shit is weird, right? Like, yeah, I got lucky on a limited 4-star, but it wasn't the one I was aiming for. And now I've got to put Miyu in a backseat and raise her eventually. It's just like, shit's weird, guys. I don't want to say I'm not lucky, but I'm lucky in weird ways.
Yeah, like...
Also, watch. I'm going to have, like, I do have very full quartz. It's going to roll around to, like, a white day or something. I'm going to blow it all and try to get Moriarty and get fucking nothing somehow.
Yeah. Like, technically, I have more servants than Omega. Why? Because I spend a fuck ton of money on this game. Jesus fucking Christ. I think, 2 years ago, I was saying, yeah, I spent, like, $3,000 on this game. And, I should slow down. Let me tell you right now, Lucky has not slowed down at all. If anything, he's spending more. Luckily, he's just making more money.
Like, he's not good at slowing down.
I'm not. I only go fast. I only go fast or full stop. And that full stop is because I usually have run into something and am now dying. Good job, Lucky. You're great at life.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Clearly, that just means that people need to give us more money so you can spend more money.
No, don't.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are in kind of a slightly sad state because we are, unfortunately, currently barred from Super Chotto time.
Yeah.
Where people were usually very generous.
Okay, well, don't give us money so you can give it to Monkey so he can spend it, because he's going to spend it on something stupid and then yell about it, unless you want to hear Lucky yelling.
I gotta be real, I do believe some people do.
You guys are fucking animals.
People are animals. Also, to answer somebody's question, am I gonna throw it on Semiramis? No? Do you guys know me? Why would I shoot on Semiramis? Especially because I do have AoE assassins now. Our copyright strike expires in April. It's a 90-day effect. It's really dumb.
Okay, so I can tell you guys, I can say right now, I've gotten 66 chocolates. Why? Because they're still on my present box. I have not touched it.
Oh, interesting. Well, you also did that whole rolling thing we talked about, so I'm sure you're slammed full of event Cs. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? I've been checking out mine immediately because I had one of each CE plus the extra you get from the thing, so I started using those point CEs immediately.
So what the fuck are you going on about?
Axe is trying to do that weird, sympathy thing that doesn't make any sense. Up. Also, I don't know, Axe was here right away. He should have heard the warning Lucky said about, guys, just don't today. Just watch out. Okay. I'm gonna stop trying to design this thumbnail in my brain until we're done, because I don't think I have the brain RAM for this tonight.
Brain RAM.
I'm doing too.
What apps is your brain running right now?
Well, we're running Let's Talk FGO, and then also running very poorly Do Arcanite's Annihilations off mic, but that's really easy. That requires 2 button presses. And then also I was like, wait, I have an idea for the thumbnail. Let me see if I can make it work. And now I'm just like, no, I cannot. I cannot use MS Paint and also read the show notes at the same time somehow. Okay, anyway. Okay. That was all that stuff. We don't have any All the World's Evil. Other than that rambling we all just did. What's All the World's Evil today? We're tired. We're tired inside and outside.
I say it's not All the World's Evil because technically I wasn't below the average. I got, in 300 rolls, I got 3 SSRs. That's literally on the average. That's one per 100.
That was statistically good. You had to spend money to get there, but that is good. That is... honestly, I probably don't spend very much money on this because except for, last summer, usually it doesn't go great for me. I blew a full 80-pack on Musashi, and I didn't even get any, off-rate up SSRs. I just full got nothing. I have some bad memories about spending money, so, I don't know. We've talked about this before. Let's not bore you with that topic again until somebody asks about it in mailbag and we have to kill him. Murburg. And then we bury him in the ground with the bag. We killed him, Lucky. We put them in the mailbag. We bury them underground. Nobody will know.
Well, hey, that's how you get missing person cases. Because until they find a body or a lot of blood, it's not a murder.
I think this calls for a Toriaizu. Moving on. Hey, did you finish your master missions? I hope to God you did, because they are complete Smoothbrain stupid to do. Let me tell you what you need to do. You need to defeat 5 servants, you need to defeat 10 servants, then you need to defeat 20 enemies, not servants or bosses, then defeat 40 enemies, not servants or bosses, defeat 15 humanoid enemies, which servants count as, by the way, and then do a quest with a caster in your party 5 times. Once again, this isn't even do the event quality, this is do fucking anything. But also the event, yes, do the event. Super autopilot power. Very interesting thing about the tickets. I don't save tickets at all.
I save tickets.
Well, okay, that's not 100% true.
Maybe a month or 2 at a time?
Okay, I guess that's not 100% true. I'll occasionally skip banners that I'm I have absolutely nothing I want or need on this. But usually that's only 2 or 3 tickets. Usually if I get tickets during an event, I spend them on the event anyway, just for the hell of it. I don't know, that's just not how my saving goes. Anyway. News!
News!
This actually got some interesting things going on. So, first, because of the future power, technically this started first. JP came out of nowhere with the chair and launched Holy Grail Front Etu Brute from 2.3 to 2.17. So, the Grail Front battle format, which was used in Bunny's Skahak event, Skahakfest, or Skafez as we like to call it, is apparently back. I'm gonna assume this is a loose tie-in to the fact that Arcade's latest event, the Santana one actually, is also bringing Grail Front to Arcade. By the way, I watched a trailer for that. I think that's online co-op, if not straight up PvP as well. Like,
wow.
they indicated there's an online element where you team up with different... Like, I don't know if it just samples other Masters people or if you play, like, live online, but it was definitely some kind of weird network shit.
Cool.
So that's interesting. But I'm gonna assume that's why JP decided to pull this out as just a little... Oh, excuse me, hold on, I gotta take a big sip of water. I'm already running out of voice juice. I'm gonna assume that this is just, them buying time for Valentines. I believe tonight, actually, is supposed to be that stream.
It is. Did they mention something about they canceled the actual venue, but they're setting up something online?
Yes, I don't remember if that was this stream or the next one, because it's Winter Caravan, so there's several, but they did mention that they were going to have an in-person event that because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, they decided to cancel. They are no longer doing a live studio audience or a meet and greet. They are going to bring this to you.
It is happening today. It's actually happening at what we would consider a reasonable hour.
Yeah, it's only 2:40 a.m. EST. I'll be there.
Yep, same.
But yeah, so we're doing a little thing. So we're gonna get scooped a little bit probably, but this event doesn't end until the 17th, so they're not gonna go right away with full Valentine's spoilers. They'll probably just do what they did last year and show the new servant, maybe talk about it.
I don't know. I might.
I mean, I guess technically,
what's the fucking
the Grail Front is much like our Valentines we're in now. It's a 7-day time lock, so they could probably tack something onto the last week. But I don't know. I think they got one more stream coming.
We'll see. Oh, big yawn.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, there was. I don't remember what the line was now, but there was Mash had a February line that got people crazy. I think she was talking about Arsène Lupin stuff. She mentioned Maurice LeBlanc or something.
Oh, maybe you get a Phantom Thief this?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The zone of Arsène Lupin is really interesting because not only do you have Arsène, but also there are several fictitious examples of his kids or grandkids, such as Lupin III, and he does canonically have a son and a daughter in the stories. So we'll see what bamboozlement JP comes up with. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they left a calling card, which is a trademark Phantom Thief thing, but it doesn't seem like it's Summer Carmilla's calling card, because that's literally one of her skills. We'll see what they do. Bamboozled! Like he just keeps looking at his gifts for joy. Yeah, anyway. Grail Front battle. No story, just Grail Fronts. Which is a very popular mode, so people really like the little tactical battle. I'm kind of glad to see them bringing back this so fast. Usually they, forget about extra special game modes, other than remembering to do raids, once a year, so this is neat.
Well, yeah, I also find it interesting that, because Kahawk Fest was kind of our Nero Fest, well, I don't know, I can't really call it a Nero Fest anymore.
It was the...
it was the tournament arc.
Yeah, it was the fall tournament arc type thing, but no challenge quests or anything, because JP was literally like, hey, we know that events have been weird lately, so we're just gonna cruise control you guys this year. Just have fun. Get costumes.
I think it'd be cool if they maybe actually start adding Grail Front to maybe the yearly rotation, give people something a little to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting type from what I've seen, so we'll see how it goes. We do have a couple of game updates from this. Nero's Bloomer costume is now in the RP shop, if you haven't scored that.
It's good.
And here is the big one. Animation updates for Boudica and Caligula and rank ups. Boudica's are actually very interesting now. They did remember that her sword can shoot beams. So she's got a couple of interesting animations. By the way, yeah, in case you didn't know, that's her other NP, is her sword. It lets her shoot little mana beams.
Isn't that, what was it, the Sword of Unpromised something?
Yeah, it's the Sword of Unpromised Victory.
Yeah.
It's just a sword, but it's cool. I haven't seen much out of Caligula yet, but I've heard some people have positive responses. Oh, another thing Boudica gets is actually gets her fucking chariot. It shows it in both her NP animation and her extra attack. So, that's cool. And let's talk about those rank ups. So, Boudica's Batcon, her gut skill, is now targetable, and adds a 1 to 2k max HP for 5 turns. It also reduced its cooldown by 1 turn. So it's got, at level max, it's got a 6-turn cooldown. So theoretically, you've only got 1 turn where you don't have guts or max HP up. So that's pretty good. I think that kind of rounds out her kit, because her last buff was increased, or it spread out her Robyn damage to the team, and also gave them crit damage, right? So it gave her a little bit of offensive support. This kind of solidifies her as going back into defensive support. And I think firmly gives her different stuff to do besides being as I called it the other night, luxury mash. Because she can't really be discount mash, because mash is the ultimate discount.
Perseus, I'll fight you. Don't be shit-talking my fucking One-san here.
I don't... Where's all this, this completely unprecedented rando Caligula stand coming from? People be out here talking about the Caligula action, and I'm just like, why? What? Where'd you come from? You people don't exist. This is fake news. But, speaking of Caligula's buffs, his NP now adds a flat 30% defense down to everybody. Which is interesting. I think it gives him a more secure niche before his NP, in case you've never used it, which you probably never have. It is a, guaranteed skill seal and a high chance of NP seal, both for 1 turn. Now it slaps on, 30% defense down for, 3 turns. So, it's decent. It gives him a surefire niche of usefulness, right? But I personally don't think it makes up for the fact that his skill kit is mostly literally trying to kill him. I think his only defensive skill is Imperial Privilege, and that's chance-based for everything but the heal. His Sadistic Streak gives him defense down, and his 3rd skill literally takes away 500 of his HP. So, on a Bronze Berserker, it's not the greatest. So, that's neat, I guess. I think some people have said it kind of reminds them of what they did with Benkei, right? Where, Benkei now has that flat remove buffs utility, and you're just like, oh, well, this can be useful. Though, obviously, Benkei is less fragile than Caligula, but we'll see how it works out. I think it gives him more... honestly, both of these buffs gives both of these servants more utility to be used in more circumstances, makes them more comprehensive. So, but hopefully that, encourages some people to try out some stuff. We also do have a banner for this event. Nobody knew, but it's a rotation between Altera and Romulus Quirinus. I think this is his first time back on banner rate up since in a year.
Oh! Okay, this is why I was fucking hella confused, because you just put Alter in the notes.
Oh, yeah, no, I realized I wrote that wrong as I was reading it. Yeah, I'll correct it now for future, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. Yeah, no, it's Altera and Romulus Quirinus are on rotation. And then also Nero, Estrella, that's regular Nero, by the way, Estrella, Caesar, Romulus, and Boudica are on rate up all the time. So this isn't actually a half bad rate up, it's just coming sandwiched between 2 brand new events, so, unfortunate. Because Nero is a story lock if you don't have her or need more copies of her, and Romulus Quirinus is coming back for, like I said, the first time in, I think, about a year. So, seems pretty decent.
Also, Perseus, going up to someone and saying, hey, this thing is arguably better than this other thing, that's starting a fight.
Yeah, don't, you gotta remember the number 0 rule, talk shit, get shot. Because I don't think I said nobody ever talked about him until after people started talking about him. I was just like, I hadn't seen much of it myself. Literally, my eyes had not seen things.
Also, it's not talk shit, get banned. Look, you don't ban people. He just yells at them. And I make you feel like shit.
That's like getting shot. Talk shit, get shot. Okay. I think that's all the new news of the thing.
Yes.
It's a very low-impact event. It's got a couple of cool things, but mostly it's just out there to buy some time and give some people some fun stuff to do. Fun stuff.
See, Perseus can take it on the chin.
Now, in North America, hey, shocking nobody, you know it already, Voices and Letters, Murasaki Shikibu in the 7 Cursed Books. Wait, I should say that better. Voices and Letters! It's got an exclamation point, guys! It's in the graphic! Anyway, that's going on from 2.3 to 2.16 for us. Mm-hmm. The event is basically the same as expected in the pre-game. I don't really have any other comments. The banner rotation exists, you can look it up. I'm not gonna try and explain it to you, because it's hella confusing. I believe right now one banner is Murasaki and Maeve, and the other is Orion Maeve. Not Orion Maeve, Orion Murasaki. M's, guys. I'm gonna talk about 13 Sentinels tomorrow, guys, and you gotta expect that Omega's gonna be bad with names, even if I'm fully wide awake tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I had this problem last mailbag when someone literally named a character. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Which one was that? See, that guy's name I recognize because of that conversation. Most other people I'm like, shit, who are you? You're not Chen, because that's what everybody calls you. Fuck, that's not your full name. We'll go with it. There's a couple of characters, because their names are prominent, I can remember, but there's a lot of characters I'm just like, which one are you?
This is the problems with an ensemble cast. Toriaizu!
Yeah, I think that's all our news, because we don't really have anything to say about news-wise about the Voices and Letters event. It exists, it's happening, we're doing it. We'll talk about it more in Free Talk. So, let's see, what's our Free Talk at? almost 30 minutes.
I mean,
So,
what's our back half? Well,
our back half is going to be probably huge because it's just Valentine's impressions, which probably means we're going to talk a lot about stuff.
But we're only a half hour in. Let's see, what's the mailbag at?
It's at 32.
I don't mailbag.
I think the only thing to question about should we do full mailbag or not is, Lucky, do you feel like putting up with 32 of these people?
I don't know. Are people ready for me to fucking shit talk 32 potential fuckboys?
We won't. There's good ones in here, but there were definitely some mailbag responses. I was given the side eye. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm down to clown with this. I'm gonna vent. That's what Lucky's gonna do.
All right, let's go for it.
Let's do it. But first, Lucky actually has to pull up mailbag because I closed it accidentally at some point because he's dumb.
Womp womp. That's okay. What did I... There was something recently I completely closed a tab. I think it was it last week I accidentally closed the Patreon tab before I read it or something?
Something like that. That is not the button, you dumbass! Lucky's talking to himself, by the way, because he does that, because he's very lonely and no one listens to him. Alright. So, congratulations everyone, we're doing a full mailbag just so I can yell at you. But, it's that time again. It's this time for this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where I read what you send in, and we comment, answer, or yell about it. I should actually come up with some sort of pre-recorded spiel about this so it doesn't change every time, and I don't have to flub my lines. Regardless, we're gonna get started. Right meow. This first one comes from Secret Casino King Bumba, and he says, "Hope you're doing well." I'm not, but that's not gonna fucking stop me. How you doing, Omega?
I'm very, very tired.
He's very, very tired.
However,
thank you for your concern. Hope you're doing well yourself. We're moving on. This next one comes from Chocolate Loving Crow, who says, "Hi, I hope you have good rolls to get all the chocolates." From Chocolate Loving Crow. As you heard earlier, Omega got really good rolls, and I spent enough money to get good rolls. That's how life be. Thank you very much for that. We're moving on. This next one comes from a hunter stuck in a Valentine's doodle by BB with no way out. Please send help. You fucked, buddy. But they say, got no questions this week. I'm just going to say hello. Hope both of you have a good weekend. And congrats, Lucky, on your MP2 Murasaki. Now, excuse me, I need to figure out how to eat a cow-sized piece of chocolate without dying from the sugar intake. That's a Bavardi reference. Yep, like I said, hopefully my weekend will be good. I'm excited to talk about 13 Sentinels with Omega and share, some of the good news I got. I said, thank you for the congratulations on Murasaki. Cost me over $400, but she's MP2. I think that's, like I said, I mentioned in the Wanted. Actually, we can probably I'm gonna maybe talk about the Wanted a little bit later.
Sure, we can throw that in free talk.
Yeah. Like I said, the MP1 to MP2 jump is always the biggest, but, still I think I would maybe have an MP5 Murasaki one day. Luckily, she got 2 more banners in the future.
And I feel like, given the context of those banners, she will probably have many future healthy banners as well. Yeah. Much like the rest of the Raita gang.
Yeah.
Very popular, I wonder why. Anyway.
So, thank you very much for that. Hope you stay safe and don't die too many more times. This next one comes from the end demands you pay for the drinks for you and your friends had last weekend. I refuse, because I haven't stopped drinking yet. But they say, hello all, in JP they just gave Boudica and Caligula upgraded buffs and new animations in the latest event. My question is, do you think that they will need more upgrade, or do you think they're good enough now? Personally, I think Boudica's alright. I think she is okay. Caligula still needs some work. He's still not particularly good even as a budget berserker. Usually you're still gonna whip out Spartacus or there's another one I just brain farted. Spartacus and
Bunyan's a
Lubu.
welfare. Lubu is good for boss killing. Yeah, there's a lot of good berserkers.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to restart Steam right now. Steam, quiet you.
Asterios is surprisingly defense oriented, so he's good in some of those
actually, I think Asterios is a good comparison, right? Because most berserkers have a gorilla deck, including Caligula.
Yeah.
And Asterios has an arts NP, which is support based, basically. It's a huge debuff. Mm-hmm. His is honestly a lot more meme-worthy than Caligula's is, even with 30% defense down. I think that's basically what Asterios was doing already. And, guys, I don't know if you know this, but Skill Seal is weird. It's a weird debuff because on the one hand, yes, they can't do annoying skills, like evade or something. On the other hand, that means the enemy must attack, which, when you're a 3-star or 2-star berserker, means you're gonna die. You're gonna be dead.
You're dead.
Especially, like I said, he has no hard defenses. He has a 2k heal on his IP. I agree with Lucky. I think Caligula needs a little bit more to get into his niche. His NP is cool, but my question is, how do you get this guy to fire his NP in a reasonable time frame? Because he's a Buster Gorilla, right? He doesn't have a battery or anything. So, like, I think he's got his uses, and especially, like, when you're just starting out, you just have a random number of, like, 3 stars or lower, right? Like, even if you have all the FP in the world, you don't know when you're going to get units. So, like, I'm glad that they expanded his niche, but I still do agree that I think he's in a weird place. But Boudica is definitely in a, I would argue, better place in terms of, like, she has multiple niches and does multiple things well, both defensive and offensive support, and you can make that work, and she firmly fits into arts comps.
Yes.
And then you can also do dumb memes with
queerness.
Yeah. You can do really, really dumb Roma memes. I love
Roma.
them. This too is Rome.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, now that we have had that enlightening conversation, we're going to move on. So thank you very much for your question. We move on to a master longing to explore the cosmos with Space Ishtar. High five. Omega gives you a high five too, even though he won't say it.
I give a thumbs up.
See? But they say, dear Lucky Omega, with how many great servers are coming out this year, which ones are you willing to burn your soul's fire for the most? Let me check my wallet here. Most of them. Oh God, like we've talked about this. We've talked about this. I
think the other answer to this question was that one just now that you burned your soul's fire for.
Yeah. Well, like I said, technically, like here's the thing. Technically, for Murasaki, if I had done like, because usually Lucky doesn't really care about having additional MP levels. I really don't. Usually, I just like to have the servant, and they're so she or he or is in the collection or it is in the collection, and then I can say with confidence they're hanging out in my Chaldea, new place, space. But Murasaki was one of the artists that, like, as I said, Murasaki has literally been one of my most anticipated servants since I heard about her. So I was like, no, I want to go a little bit extra for her. So, because technically, on the most technicalities, Lucky doesn't want to spend more than 280, than 2 full packs of quartz for getting a servant. This rule only gets broken on specific servants, like, for example, when, Lost About 4 comes out, I'm probably not going to be breaking that rule, because I'm like, well, I do want me a Jinako. I'm like, she's permanent, she'll show up eventually.
And you do already have both of the other Moon Cancers.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I want a Jinako, because I think she's a cute dork, but, like, I'm not so, like, hard-pressed to roll her, because she can technically spook me at any time. Other servants, though, like Mao Nobunaga, who I am heavily considering to steal next for my next wanted. Like, I know she gets a rate up, but at the same time, it's like, if I could just have NP1, I might go a little bit further, just so I don't have to worry about it in the future. It's like King Protea, guess what? Has she gotten another rate up yet? I feel like she has.
I do believe so. I could check. My computer's being a little sluggish right now, though, because I'm, like, I was trying to open last week's thumbnail to look at what you put in it, and now my computer's like, oh, you're trying to open a picture? Slowsville.
Okay, well, put it this way. If they're limited, cute, or have big tits, I'm probably going to burn my soul's fire for them.
Let me see if I can pull
Just apply those tags, and you'll have a definite yes or no.
I accidentally put an extra D in King Protea. Why did I do that, me?
King Protea DD.
It was King Prod T.
I'm gonna punch golems.
But are they miniature golems? No, let's not talk about chocolates and stuff yet. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Everything's great. It's fine. I love it.
Okay. Everything is awesome.
Yeah, so people are saying that a year from now, when they add CCC to the main interlude, she will get another rate up.
Mm-hmm. That's also around the time of the OQ rerun, isn't it, though?
Yeah, no, that's like, those are once again, like, right next to each other for some reason.
That is a dangerous time for Sakura faces.
I don't actually know why we insist on being quite so. Yeah, they are they're definitely back to back. I don't know what order they're in, but not her trial quest.
Tonikaku, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Yeah. So, actually, well, I know Mega is probably going to go real hard on Space Ishtar. Was there anyone in particular in summer that you wanted this year?
Oh, I mean, I want lots of people in summer, but let's see. I believe the first one is Musashi Osakabe Hime Carmilla, right? That's the first banner?
Mm.
That's definitely the one I'm leaning heaviest on if I am once again screwed by summer power. I'm hoping and praying. Last year worked out okay for me, but That's 1 for 3. So, I believe that's the one I'm gonna fire on the hardest. But that second half does have that. Sorry, excuse me, I had a burp. Does have Ruler Artoria on there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how stuff shakes out.
Lucky's gonna do his stupid madman and thinking go for all of them because he's dumb and doesn't understand fiscal responsibility. Anyway, we're moving on. So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from, let's call Satana by his real name, Kulili.
No, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're not the boss of me.
Yeah. What he said. Anyway, hello, Lucky and Meg. Hope you're doing great. My question is for who is your FGO servant artist? I'm a big fan of Toy 8 myself. Have a great weekend. I mean, Raita's great. Also, I love me some Wada Arco.
Wada's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that was, I think, just general artists we're glad to see. We had a very similar question last week.
Yeah. And last time I pulled a Pochi. Like I said, I haven't actually looked too hard at Kama's art design, but I know it's done by Redrop, so when she finally comes out, I'm probably going to give it the hard eye, give it a look, and see what happens.
I mean,
but
Toy 8's pretty good.
Who does Toy 8? Well, who's Toy 8 again?
That's you and Himiko.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, but if I have to put it at the top of my list, it'd be Raita, Water Arco, then probably Redrop, just because I know their work.
Yeah, Redrop and Water are definitely on the high end of my list.
And after that, it'd probably be Paco because I love his his designs. Puts a lot of color and energy into his stuff.
Paco's real good.
Anyway, that's that. We move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from, I took a critical hit, but I think I'll live. Hey, good on you. They say, question, hey, Lucky to Mega, is there a way for newer players to acquire older Spiritrons to dress? Yes, eventually they'll get added to the Rare Prisms shop at some time in the future, who knows when, but eventually.
Yep.
Just like now, we have, they have just added Nero's Bloomer costume, which is, 3 years old for them by now?
Yeah. Also, I believe last event they added Maeve's previous summer costume as well.
Oh yeah, the Prison Warden.
Yeah.
And
so it'll probably take them a couple years to get into it, but yeah, they'll get there eventually.
Yeah, just make sure you get some Rare Prisms, somehow, some way. Tonikaku, thank you very much. We move on. This next one comes from that guy looking up Valentine's scenes on YouTube.
Why?
Question, Valentine's Day is naturally a time to celebrate wifes, but instead I'll ask, which male servant are you most looking forward to the Valentine's scene of? Chi Wong, because that man is fabulous and I love him.
I've already got that one. Spoilers, I'm done with all my females. I'm on males now. I spent a lock on that one, I think. No, it was great. So yeah, I think he was my most anticipated male for it. I'd have to look at who I got left to see who I want to see most. Possibly Dantes, just because I'm very interested. Like, I know the CE is like a hot cup of coffee, so I'm very interested to see how Kuhaha gets there. So we'll see that one maybe.
Actually, I was gonna mention this on Hecking Free Talk, but I'm gonna mention it now. Apparently I realized that your servant CE list isn't based on the actual servants you have, it's based on your fucking Spirit Origin list. Because you guys remember how I fucking burnt my Salieri by accident all that time ago? I still got his fucking CE scene. His Valentine's scene.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty wacky.
Yeah, so I got his conductor's baton. I was all like, wait a minute. And I went and double checked. Yeah, no, I don't actually have a Salieri. Still. So, I feel like that's something that probably doesn't actually come up much because people usually aren't dumb enough to burn. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. People are completely dumb enough to burn servants that they only have one copy of, whether by purpose or by accident. God, why are people stupid? Don't worry, I'm including myself in that number, so don't feel fucking insulted. We're all one people. Anyway, so yeah, Chi Wong. I got the Wait, did I get the male or female version? Now I can't remember. Which is the one where he gives you the elixir of immortality?
Girls side.
Girls. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I have not got the male side then.
If you give him chocolate, he gives you a piece of rock sculpted to look like a chocolate cake. It's equally as hilarious. After, by the way, you have another argument about the nature of mankind.
Yeah, no, well, we'll talk about Valentine's later. I'm gonna get through these. So, thank you very much. This next one comes from Master, who is Murasaki's Hanbo. Proof, MP2, and 18 tickets. Well, fuck you! I'm skipping your question. We're moving on. This next one comes from Alias Internal Screaming, who says, Hey y'all, whilst minding my own business playing the event, it came to my attention that among the list of Chaldea's kitchen truck servants, we have Shiki as a revered cook. Shiki Raiko and of course Emi Archer goes to quote, and I was wondering where this came from. Shiki is a cook? Assassin Shiki? I post a screenshot or say what the servant this interaction happened with, but the former might get me qualified from the mail and the latter might be spoilers. But regards, internal screams. No, Shiki's a mom. Shiki learned to cook after the whole thing with fucking Kara no Kokai.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what year our Shiki's supposed to be from, but she's definitely like at a different period than just like not like at the start or anything. But yeah, no, like hell, do her Valentine. She cooked it for you in the middle of the morning, and then she's like, anyway, bye nerd, bye sucker. We're gonna have a lot of conversations about range later, by the way, kids.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no, Shiki's a cook. So we could unpack Kara no Kyokai for a long time. We won't, but we should remind you that the Shiki everybody knows, while she tries to be very tomboy-y, that's still feminine Shiki.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, she has a lot of classical skills, like cooking and stuff. She's also a lazy shit who like only eats Haagen-Dazs and drinks vitamin water. So it's weird, and I can see why you would think that. But yeah, no, she can totally.
Anyway, thank you very much for that. Hope that answered your question. We move on. This next one comes from 418. I feel like that means something. I can't figure out what off the top of my head, but whatever. They say, hello, Lucky and Omega. Have a good weekend and game day. Oh, when is the Super Bowl?
Soon.
Well, soon. But guess what? I don't care.
Yeah, no, I have to be spicy about it, because goddamn Bucks beat Packers, fucking Tom Brady. Yeah, anyway, nope, I can't. Not right now. Later.
Not right now. And we can talk about tomorrow. We can get a little bit on our sports. Anyway, so this next one comes from Rotsiv, king of all. Holy crap, Saber Guild's Valentine's convo is amazing. Tsuruoka is a god. Tsuruoka is pretty damn fucking awesome. But they say, question, do you guys have any unusual video game genres that you think, oh my god, is this one of these? Oh, it is.
Yeah. We've had worse, but there is definitely a read more break here.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's not the worst, so I will read it. Question, do you guys have any unusual video game genres you think would fit Fate's themes and lore as well? I'm thinking some more obscure genres that have been tried for a series like a JRPG or a roguelike. My idea would be an RTS that uses a Grail War as a setting. You have to choose what servants of what class, as well as a specific master, both with your unique T6 of abilities, of course, and then battle 8 7-way free-for-all, 7 versus 4 card talk from team matches, team defense, horde, match modes, etc. I have more ideas for the concept, but I don't want to blow up the question any further and risk Lucky biting his tongue or something. Thanks for your time.
I mean, they've definitely done a JRPG. That's extra.
Okay, so clearly, what they need to do is a FGO cookie clicker. There, done.
As a more real answer, I would love a fucking Fate Tactics RPG. Hell, I stopped because it wasn't going anywhere. Because it was a pointless one, especially because they decided not to go that way with Duel. But I definitely thought after playing the OG Extella about the idea of making a Fate war game, like actual tabletop miniatures, because you get to do all the cool stuff. But no, like that tactics stuff could be interesting. I don't know about RTS, like, is really what I'd go for, but that's just me. Anyway.
I can see something in the way of, like, 13 Sentinels, though.
That's true. That's real time with pause.
Yeah. But it seems like we have a long break there, so I think we're done. So we're going to move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Sweet for Waifus Day, who says, question, has there been any point where you decided to roll for a servant but already had something better? Example is me wanting to roll for the past Ilia banners, but I have an MP3 Shiba. Also wanting to roll for me, but already have a Merlin. I'm going to give you the quick question of no, because I don't roll because based on whatever fucking meta that you guys are using. I roll because I think they're cute, awesome, or whatever, and I just want them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't care how good a servant is when I roll. Like, yes, I will tactically roll on servants to get something I don't have, but that doesn't stop me from rolling what I want either.
So, thank you for your question. Hope that answered that. We're going to move on to this next one comes from Raising up a Coco Goat Archer made me miss my 6th login date. 344 straight days wasted. Yay. I would say I feel your pain, but I break my streak like every 2 weeks on the reg, so whatever, man. Actually, Megan, do you know what your streak's at?
Off the top of my head, no.
That's fine. Whatever.
It's not
anyway, they say, question.
Great, though, because I've occasionally missed from, like, power outages and shit.
Yeah, that happens. But they say, question, what's up, guys? The ceiling. Hope all is well during these times of band reunion tours. Hopefully today's Matthew Man tour isn't too popular. Anyways, from an effort standpoint, would you guys prefer that IS...
I can sense Lucky's confusion, but I can't look at the question right now because I'm continuing my incredibly cool, slick thumbnail.
I hear IS and I think intelligent systems.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find this one.
Hang on. Lucky had to go full stop here.
I don't know. Did you just fuck this up, Mr. Question Giver? Did you mean to say Delightworks? And you accidentally talked about IS like we're playing Fire Emblem Heroes? Though, I don't know, Fire Emblem... Some days I wish I hadn't dropped out of Fire Emblem Heroes completely, because they do cool stuff like St. Ceros. But then other days I remember that everybody hated Fire Emblem Heroes, so...
Intelligence... How much for today? Intelligent systems, blah, 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 blah. Intelligent systems, but Fire Emblem, Paper Mario... Yeah, Well, guess what? I'm gonna read your question as it is, nerd. Would you remember that IS gives out event welfare similar to Noble Console Distributor instead of the standard way through an event? I do it, but if I can grind to get that MP5 servant through the event of how easy it was, seems to be a Noble Console from the FP Gotcha. I play NA only, but I should keep up with JP. I say this, I shouldn't be there all the time due to the weakness, biggest air quotes ever, of low-rated servants, but maybe occasionally for us lazy/busy masters out there. Well, first off, I didn't know that the Intelligent System was doing servants. I didn't know they got into this fate shit, but who knows, they can do them whatever they want. Like I said,
Hearty chuckle.
Oh, and they finished with, thanks, bros. No, thank you!
Yeah, thanks. And also, I don't care. I mean, we've had this conversation before. Like, it's a mixed bag, like, doing FP Gotcha stuff versus just doing servants in the freeway, because welfares are usually pretty goo on account of the fact that they are free 4-stars, so they have reasonably high stats. They're fairly easy to, do the whatchamacallit, the NP5 up kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, like, what they do with Nobukatsu is not, like, Satan or anything. It's not the worst.
I mean, I got, like, several million. I'm probably going to have several million friend points when that comes around, so I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would honestly prefer more if they dropped, like, more bronzes in big batches, like, on anniversaries, but also I understand that's a lot of work for literally no money, right? Like, when you do 7 at a time, that is... I think technically FGO is, like, to put it this way, I think FGO is technically losing money when they do that because they had to pay voice actors and artists to do those servant designs, and they are, like, the only possible way for somebody to turn that into money is an incredibly roundabout way of, like, buying FP in the Rare Prism shop or something. So, yeah, no, like, I understand why they don't do that a lot, because that doesn't really help their business model any. But I would prefer larger batches of free-to-play servants than necessarily do them, but also I'm pretty sure Nobukatsu is a bronze in the FP Gotcha because he's supposed to be memey and bad, right? Like, they're not afraid to, like, do, like, Angramanyu and, like, do servants with ultra-low rarities to give them low base stats and kind of poke fun at how in lore they're supposed to not be strong. Because, I think Delightworks acknowledges... Yes, Delightworks, not Intelligent Systems, but Delightworks acknowledges that there's some funny disconnects between, like, lore and servant rarity and power levels and shit. They know. They've been doing this for 5 years. That's what I got to say.
That's what he got to say, and I have nothing to add, so we're gonna move on. This next one comes from a monster who says, I burnt them. I burnt them all. They're gone. Every single one of them. Not just the male Valentine CEs, but the female CEs and mashes, too. They're like experienced CEs, and I burned them like experienced CEs. I miss them. Mostly just mashes. What have you burned?
Because you don't... Get this back.
What have you burned that you have later come to regret? Otherwise, please accept my well wishes when rolling for Lady Murasaki. So, I only have one big regret with him burning, and that's the fact when I burnt my fucking Salieri out of nowhere. It wasn't intentional. It was complete by accident, and I probably didn't realize it for like weeks until I needed him, and I was like, where the fuck is my angry man?
I believe I did that once with a fully leveled... It was back before I really understood how the locking procedure worked, and we had a lot of auto locks. I did that with my Cursed Arm Hassan once. Like, he was max level, fully ascended and everything, and I just, like, accidentally ate him somewhere, and I had to roll a new one and start over. And I was just like, how did this happen? That's not as bad as Salieri, because obviously Cursed Arm is a free bronze unit, and Salieri is story-locked for some ungodly reason.
Mad lads.
Yeah, no. I don't think there's been any CEs I've really done. Also, yeah, no, don't burn Mash's CEs, though. Like, I think you can get them back in the Rare Prism shop in future years, but you can't really get them back in this event. There's no mechanic for that. Like, I think you just get the voiced version of her scene, like, added to your archive. It doesn't even play. Like, it gets just tacked onto the event archive. So.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on. This next one comes from, well, thank you for the question. Don't forget to be polite even when you're mad. So, this next one comes from the guy who hopes that Quest will show mercy this time and finally show up in his Chaldea after burning all the Saint Courts on our other banners. That's a mood. But they say, hi, looking to Megan. No question this time. Just wanted to mention that the YouTube algorithm was weird because it didn't show me the mailbag post last week at all, but I saw dozens of community panels from channels I'm not subscribed to. Wild. This week I already saw it not even an hour after I was supposed to field, as if YouTube wanted to apologize this time and gave it to me extra early. If you do any rolls on the Valentines banner, I wish you the best of luck. May you get what you want. Yeah. I did.
So this was one of those things that was a little weird. We got a lot of like, oh man, I hope you do, because I think you posted it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Which was before the banner dropped, but also the banner dropped like that night or the next night. So it's really weird. We got a lot of well wishes on the banner, and obviously you guys already know how it went.
Yeah, you do. I'm still gonna read it, because that's how I do. So thank you very much for that. We move on. This next one comes from Chocolate Surfer Champ, Cyrus21, who says, hey guys, back from my trick and about ready to start the event. Welcome back. You were missed. Not really. My alias is a reference from the first big event in FGO, the Semiramis one, where Earth and Chaldea were almost flooded by a tidal wave of chocolate. I did beat that event, but I had just started out and went in blind. Is there an event from your early days in FGO you wish you could redo with your current knowledge? And speaking of, besides the JP announced plans for the main interludes, what events would you add to it? Give the players who started in 2020 a shot at old Werefells. I would pick either Onigashima or the first Guda. Of course you would, because people want that Kentucky and Nobunaga. They don't care actually about the story. No, they just
well, I mean, Guda is every year, so you could say that it would be good to go back and do some of those old ones, because...
No, that is true.
Honestly, I would say... The game really does just throw out Nobu like you know who the fuck she is these days.
Well, to be fair, at a Japanese game, I pretty much...
well, that's true also, yes.
But no, I would definitely have to say the first Guda, because Guda is kind of just a yearly event of its own. Yeah. So bringing that back would definitely be goo. Avenger Yotogiri win. Yeah. Yep, that's all I got for that. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, Omega? I'm trying to think. Were there any events I'd want to do over? Not really. I don't think we had any bad responses. I was pretty into this look ahead shit when we started this whole shebang, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm usually forewarned and forearmed when it comes to events.
And what would I want? Lucky can usually brute force his way through most shit.
Yes, this is the beauty of spending all that extra money to have all those servants and CEs, is you do usually have good luck just beating events into submission with a crowbar.
Yeah.
What would I want added to, like, main interlude? Oh gosh, I don't even know. I think that Past Gudas are probably a good one, because it's been forever, and I'd love to get the Halloween trilogy linked up, because that's constantly referenced. But other than that, nothing comes to mind off the top of my head.
Yeah, I do think Halloween's another big one. Because...
Well, especially after I got Castlez's,
actually, here's a question. If they do Halloween 3, will they let you do it twice so you can get both Ellies?
They would probably have to set up the main interlude so that you'd get the pieces for, like, both or something somehow.
Yeah, because, let me tell you, running double Mecha Ellies is kind of a trip sometimes.
Funny.
Anyway, let us move on. So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from What is Love? And they say, question. Excluding their Spiritron costume dresses, can you think of any heroic spirit whose regular outfits wouldn't look too out of place today, besides maybe Shiki and Fujino? Or are there any hero spirits whose wardrobe you think you could rock would like to try? On a completely unrelated note, would you happen to know if Pochi...
This is pretty funny.
On a completely unrelated note, would you happen to know if Pochi behind Valkyrie Style is in fact a VTuber? I know nothing about VTubers, but a random search found one with the same name.
Yes.
Thanks, and P.S. that the crosshair descriptions... Thanks, and P.S. that. You needed to put the comma after the P.S., I think.
Yeah.
Thanks, and P.S. that the crosshair descriptions of Murasaki and the Montevideo were a nice touch. So yes, Pochi is a VTuber. Pochi is many things. Pochi was originally a doujin artist, a manga artist. She does light level illustrations, and she does contract work, and she's a VTuber.
And also, as mentioned in the contract work, she's a VTuber character designer too. She did one of Hololive Indonesia Gen 2's designs. The Peacock
Yes.
one, whose name escapes me because I'm bad at names.
Mhm.
I remember Crazy Ollie for reasons. Speaking of which, they actually did like a really big old collab.
Oh yeah,
It was Pochi, Ina,
and I can't remember the third one.
Well, it was the Peacock Girl, and then it was it Iofi from Indonesia? It was one of the Gen 1 in Indonesias. Again, not always great with the names. Yeah, so Reina's her name, and then it was one of the other. Anyway, they played like Phasmophobia and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a VTuber. She does collabs.
Mm-hmm. She's great. I love her. Anyway, we're gonna move on though. Thank you very much for your question. The next one comes from my courts to be the court that pierce the heaven and reach the gods! Exclamation point! 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 Space Gentar and Arjuna Alter specifically.
It's good to have specifics.
Mm-hmm. Dear looking at Mega, hope you're doing great. I'm not. I don't know. Mega, how you doing? You still sleepy?
Yeah, I'm still a little tired.
Still a little tired. They say, question, is there any service that you guys want to roll but ultimately decided against doing? No. In my case, I really like what I've seen in Murasaki Shikabu, but as a player with very limited sources and a very good roster of AoE casters, I can't justify going for specifically with the crazy amount of banners yet to come this year. My dude, my gal, my person, my fish, that is perfectly justified and do not feel bad. You can roll for what you roll.
Yeah, no, like, I'm trying to think, was there anybody? Usually my rolls are very pre-planned, because FGO is usually pretty good about clairvoyance, so I don't think there's ever been a servant I've super liked that I didn't... Like, if I like them as a character, I'm much more likely to roll on them to be like, it's usually about niches, and I'm like, Cleopatra's cool and all, and I need an AoE assassin, but I've got something else coming, you know?
Like I said, clairvoyance is great because usually we know ahead what's coming and we can, quote unquote, plan accordingly. Cause that's how I know I'm entirely fucked for like this first half of the year. Cause like there's just so many things I want, and guess what? I'm gonna spend money and I'm gonna hopefully get them. And
it is the danger zone.
Danger zone.
And we've known it's been a danger zone for like a big year. Well, 2 years to be exact, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Like you see the front of the year and he's just all like,
Chuckles, I'm in danger? Oh no, it was a different gif, okay. It's a lens flare cat screaming.
Yeah, but like, no, Lucky, I said, I'm bad with, I didn't want to say it like that. That's bad. Say it a different way, Lucky. I'm bad with holding back, I guess is the best way to say it. I see Servant, I like Servant, I roll for Servant. That is the exact process. There is not the should I roll for Servant. It's just roll. Just go.
Oh no, rolling. Actually, no. It's the Rick and Morty meme. Oh boy, here I go rolling again.
Yep, pretty much. Tonikaku, we are done with that question. So thank you very much. We're gonna move on. This next one is, Moon is way too deep into Jujutsu Kaisen hell and simping hard for Sukuna. Send help. No. Continue to simp. Suffer the choices you have made in your life. But they say, greetings Omega and Lucky, the time for the love festivities has come. Excuse me. I couldn't come up with a question as I am too excited for Voice Husbando scenes to think, so I wish you all a great day or night. And good luck on your Murasaki rolls. I'm aiming for that Aresh CE specifically. I hope you got it.
It's a good CE.
Good CE. Anyway, thank you very much for your question, but we're going to keep moving on. This next one comes from, Snow is here and I have to shovel it. Be careful about your back, my dude. But they say, dear Lucky Omega, Dantes can break space and time. Billy's MP is basically to always shoot first. Who do you think would be faster? Well, if someone's ability is to always shoot first, they shoot first.
Yeah, I mean, so, if the question is, because, yes, the way Thunderer works is that, like, it's kind of like, Tsubame Gaeshi, but also with an inherent counter property. Mm-hmm. Like, the moment you start your attack, Billy draws and fires before you land. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll hit Dantes, because the thing is that specifically Dantes can escape the boundaries of space and time is the thing. Yeah, so anything that's a prison he can escape.
Yeah, so Billy will shoot first, doesn't mean necessarily he'll hit first.
I think that's about all there is on that one.
That is all there is on that one, so we're gonna move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Zed, just finished rounding Testament with Mordred. Just Zed. Comment. Prism codes and Little Big Team completed it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to try 100% completion, with my rare prism count being higher than before. Question. So with Valentine's ongoing, while you're reading this, potentially I'm typing this question on Tuesday, which is before most news that would flood the mailbag would come out, I have to ask, if you could have picked a character to get either a Valentine's or a Valentine's costume, who would you pick, and what would you think would be their costume? Edit, Murasaki Shikabu Attain, with Big Titty Goth Widow Librarian. Thank you, Lucky, for putting out that wanted. It was great. I hear that people really did like the fucking little bit where I just kept adding tags to her.
Yeah, no, people do like it.
Also, Foolish Mortal, Foolish Question, I'm automatically pick Tomo.
Yeah, I mean, is that a question?
Yeah.
It's Tomo.
And what would be their costume, though? I don't know, it'd probably be red, white, probably a lot of cleavage, probably a lot of skin showing.
There's gotta be at least a baseline for something in that direction with Tomo already. She has a lot of, not at FGO, but in other games that feature Tomo, she has lots of costumes.
Actually, what happens if I type in Valentine's Tomo? I'm curious.
I would say you'd
Google.
probably get her Valentine's scene first, but there might actually be some other stuff in there.
I am disappointed. Yeah, it's all Valentine's scenes.
As expected. Damn you, Google!
Whatever. Who would you like for Valentine's servant?
Talking about alts or costumes.
Well, while you think, I do want to say, I do find it interesting that while we do have Valentine's event, we do not have a Valentine's seasonal costumes. Because that's a big draw in a lot of other games, is just to get Valentine's variant. Like, Granblue Fantasy thrives on the... Actually, shit, I need to check to see if they got Valentine's in Armea.
Yeah, I mean, what's... Do they have a particular... Because I'm not a big Granblue guy, I don't remember. Do they have a particular theme for those costumes? Like, is it... Because I know this is speaking of Fire Emblem Heroes, actually. FEH would do usually a late February, early spring bridal-themed thing. And I kind of thought that's the direction we were going with Nero Bride, but FGO never really followed up on that.
So
is
let
Granblue
me...
the same way?
Let me post, it's over 2,000 characters! Hang on. Copy image address. Paste. So this is Valentine's Narmea. She's making chocolate in a fucking, apron with a heart-shaped window. So I'm like, yeah, our fucking, and just hearts and chocolates and shit. Fuck, hecking Destiny Child's got fucking Valentine's fucking themes for days. Jesus. Let me see here.
One of Tom Cat's Ascensions is already basically her Valentine's costume. Got it.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Let me think. Ruby... Yeah, nobody's really coming to mind. There are servants who could sub in for that. Like, I know that, Medusa, for instance, has, like, a maid apron sprite. It could be pretty interesting to, like, throw her a bone for once. Delight works. So that could be an interesting one to give Medusa, like a costume like that.
Do you guys not have Valentine's Lita on here? You animals! I want to show her off, because I got one. Images. This is not the images. Okay, now I'm just disappointed. Fuck this. Screw this. I'm going home. Wait, I'm already home. Whatever. Moving on. So thank you very much for your question. We move on. This next one comes from the Tokusatsu Club Great Leader. You can't see it, but I just gave you a very cold stare.
Who dares?
Anyway, they say, dear lover of many waifus lucky and the man who loves his room pisses Omega. Before getting to my question, I want to apologize for starting as me and another one watching one show spiral into a pain in your guys' backside. For that, I am sorry. No, you're not. Continue to do it. Anyways, with the heavy stuff out of the way time for a dumb question. What kind of chocolate or sweet treat would you give to one of all your favorite servants? Store-bought or homemade is fine. Now I'm off to collect stuff from Murasaki. Ciao. Listen. Okay. I know JP makes like a big deal of it and stuff, but it's actually stupid easy to make simple chocolate. It really is. You want guys' little Lucky's easy no bake fudge recipe? Here we go. You take some chocolate chips, you put them in a double boiler, you get them all melted, you add some fucking sweetened condensed milk, you add that in, stir it in there nice and tight. Guess what? You put in some bowls, stick it in the fridge, let it freeze, boom, done. You have chocolate.
That is actually basically it. Yeah, chocolate's not rocket science. I'm trying to think what I would prefer. Because I got a lot of I got a lot of sweets and desserts I like. What would I rather? I probably would go with maybe a simple fudge or something. Like, just something you can just... Because we have a lot of servants, right?
Yeah.
I would want something dirt simple that's hard to fuck up and that I can do over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, at best, I might upgrade to cookies. But also that's because I just fucking love cookies.
Yeah. Also, if you want to get fancy, you can add nuts and dried fruits in there. Just remember, though, it's fudge. It does not keep its form very well, so... When you take it out of the fridge, get it to the person it needs to go to ASAP, or otherwise it's going to turn to a It won't melt immediately, but it'll turn into a sticky mess.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand. No, sorry. I got distracted by thinking about sugar cookies and then M&Ms. Actually, I wonder. That's a cool culinary question for a different time. I know we got some stuff in the audience, but I'm trying to think. Is there a good way to make your own like candy shell like they do for M&Ms?
Oh, yeah, there is. It usually involves a dipping, though, so it can get a bit messy.
So it's a little, it requires a little bit of extra manual effort and finickiness. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm not a confectioner. I'm like, didn't we have a...
Yes, no, we know some confectioners and pastry chefs. They're in the audience. They'll let us know about stuff.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember at least one person critiquing some of the Valentine's designs.
Yeah. All right. I regained my place. So thank you very much for your...
to say about that one.
What?
I was about to say, I don't think there's anything more to say about that one. You gave everybody your fucking fudge recipe.
Yeah, I did. It's dirt simple. By the way, if you want to get like super crazy with it, what you do is you make you make a thin layer of fudge, then make a second batch, and then layer it on top of the second one, and then you can have layered fudge. It's great.
Double fudge.
Double fudge.
And then you put it in a sundae. Double fudge sundae.
Anyways, this next one comes from Caligula God, having devoured 107 chocolates and gifts. You ate the gifts?
That's very dangerous for some of those gifts. They include things like swords and guns. Are you okay?
I hope you're okay. Anyway, their question is, have you ever seen Orjuice Cryptor's comments on Reddit? No. Long story short is a what if scenario. I don't want to hear...
I don't... This feels like one of them loaded questions.
Okay, hang on. I'm not actually going to read this out loud. Let me see if I actually want to waste my breath on this. It's just a AU. It's a fucking AU. Why would I care about an AU? Listen, guys. Nothing against fanfictions. Nothing against AUs. But I'm not into them. I'm not. I don't care about them. They're literally what someone who says, hey, you see this thing? I think I can do it fucking better. And maybe they can. But I'm not going to concern myself with learning someone else's complete lore and backstory when I have trouble enough with the original as is. Alright? Fuck.
So, to answer how you should have left your question, no, he has not seen the comics, and no, he doesn't care. I also haven't either, because I don't go on Twitter or Reddit.
Lucky is spicy today, y'all.
Nah, you said that.
Anyway, so, thank you for taking the time to write your question, I guess I should say. I appreciate your effort. I'm happy that you're here.
At some point, I hope people will learn when they should just cease.
They're not.
Conciseness is great, guys.
This next one comes from the King of Apples. I like this name. Oh, okay. Fun fact, so I did the math, and the amount of AP refund for all my apples is equal to a year's worth of natural AP. Question, what, if any, servants have you put lots of time and effort into, yet rarely use? Example, level 100, 10, 10, 10, max golden, bow, full command code, cool altar that sits in the last slot for challenge quest, and never actually comes out. Actually, surprisingly enough, despite having her level 100, 10, 10, 10, my Tama Lancer does not actually get that much use. Being someone who does a lot of art comps, she doesn't get the time to shine. Tomacat actually gets fair time because sometimes I just go green cargo burr or red cargo burr since she is a gorilla deck with a quick AoE MP.
Yeah, Tama Lancer is a specialty unit because of her damage bonuses and stuff. So
yeah,
it's totally fair that she doesn't come out a lot.
Yeah, sure, she's not even Bond 10 yet, which kills me. Because a lot of times I want to just stick her in the back so she can get some Bond, but because she's an SSR and takes up 16 fucking points, she's all like, nah, can't fit. I'm like, god damn it.
Honestly, so for me, if nothing else springs to Lucky's mind, for me, it's probably, I would say these days, it's probably my Jean's. Like, for me, smashing the John button or smashing the Jolter button used to be my emergency eject procedure. It was, I see. You're trying to make this hard, Delightworks, bless you. I'm going to tell you no. Honestly, I have enough breadth of units now that I can usually find somebody more specialized to the effect, and I usually only have to bust out Jean for, like, very specific content where I'm like, I'm gonna need lots of invul and debuff removal constantly. Same with Jolter, I'm like, I've got a lot of, like, class-specific, trait-focused attackers. I very rarely need specifically... I just need a general ass kicker, you know? They just do come out intentionally, and I, have used them a lot, but it's, Jean's one of my few Bon 10s. But it's like, man, I don't feel like I pull on that lever as much anymore.
Slow but wild. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on. This next one comes from Tsubame Gaishi Abenienma. Oof. They say, question, hello Lucky Omega. To Lucky, are there any servants that you failed to get while rolling, and will you continue the pursuit? Yes and yes. To Omega, have you given up on Musashi yet, or will you continue the good fight?
Oh, that's a delicate question. I mean, I don't think I've given up on the fight. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna put as much effort as I have in the past, though, just because I've been burned already. But I definitely haven't given up on Musashi. I'll probably just try for the Summer Her first, because I think that's the next banner that hits. Yeah, no, depending on the timing, though, there's always that question of when you've missed your window, are you gonna go back for, like, a rerun banner, right? When new shit is constantly popping. So, yeah, I don't know. It's, my experiences with Musashi banners have definitely taken some of the fight out of me, but I'm not completely done either. That's me. I opened FG.
All right. Sorry. So thank you very much for that. By the way, Lucky still does not have a MHA altar, and it's the only Arturia he does not have. It kills him. Inside. But the next one comes from Mount Nobunaga Waiting Room, who says, "Hi, Lucky Omega. Hope you're getting plenty of chocolate from your wife's and giving a lot of chocolate to your husbandos. My question this week is, who do you consider will be the most powerful mage currently alive in FGO? Servants obviously don't count, and by currently I mean the NA timeline up to and including LB3. Thanks for reading this, and hope you have an amazing week."
I mean, it's gotta be Goldorf, right? Because everybody's fucking dead in the current timeline. Maybe Sion? Yeah. Actually, probably Sion. She doesn't ever show us her magecraft, but I guess she's good.
Why? I won't. I would still consider the Cryptors part of humans, maybe? Are they not?
Okay, well, yeah, no, they're alive humans now. Yeah, okay, so that would probably be
David?
Yeah, David or Daime. Yeah, I don't actually know, like, which one of them is supposed to be stronger, per se. I'm sure we'll find out as we go through their various stories. But yeah, okay, no, so it's one of the Cryptors or maybe Sion. I don't really know. But yeah, no, it's actually a very limited pool on account of most people being fucking dead, dude. I feel like I hope this is the direction they wanted this question to go in, because I felt like they were reaching for something different, and it just doesn't exist.
Well, I don't care. We go the direction we want. Lucky will turn this car around as many times as he fucking wants. And guess what? We're doing donuts in the parking lot. But with that, we move on. So thank you very much for your question. We move on to, from a guy happy with getting 3 meals on a YOLO 10 roll during a triple. Oh, fuck you. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be real, my dudes. Even if I talked about earlier how I did get a Lucky Mew, why do you feel the need to share this with me? And Lucky.
Like again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad. I'm not mad that, it's like, good on you. You got good shit. That's great. I understand you want to tell somebody when a Lucky does good things. I want to tell people and have them pat me on the back too. But man, how? Why? Where's my luck like this? I'm still the guy who still has not gotten a double SSR. I think the best I've gotten was an SSR and SR. I've gotten multiple SRs. I've gotten SR, S. I've gotten fucking okay luck, but Jesus, I have not pulled something like this. I think literally my best fucking roll ever was a Chishi Wong, a fucking Cornstar U, and a red hair back to back to back, and that's it. That's fucking it. This guy over here, Omega, has 2 years in a row pulled double SSRs on the fucking Lucky Bag.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct. And so far, all of them have been new.
Yeah, just not. Technically, Zeltrad's dead, but not.
Yeah,
by the way,
somebody asked that. I'm like, I don't. Zeltrad is weird. I don't know if he's even in timelines anymore. Really,
he fought the moon and won, but kind of died, but didn't. Literally,
that's wild. Anyway, like, I don't know. Like, Lucky's talking about how much money he spends. Do you guys not realize that? Like, you think we're just magical good guys that you need to compete with? Don't compete with us. In fact, we prefer if you didn't compete with us. Compete with yourself. It's like golf. But also, don't brag about your golf score, please. That's a dumb nerd thing to do. Why would you do that? Anyway. This person has an actual question now.
Yeah, they
do. Lucky, do we need to make a new rule about the aliases that you can't brag about your roles in your fucking alias?
Yeah, I don't, like, honestly, I think that's what's killing me, is that they're bragging in the alias.
Like, okay, we get you're trying to go for the backpats. Everybody tries to make us read their backpats or their brilliant ideas out loud. We could not, though. You could just not. Anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a rule. I don't care if you put your bragging in your question, but don't put it in the alias. That feels like the most, like, honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. It's like literally the most smooth brain thing you can do.
Lucky must read out my luck. Return to Lucky. It's like monkey, but luck.
Return Reject responsibility. Embrace waifus. Return to Lucky. Anyway, they say, hey guys, if FGO was to add one of the following, what would you like? A 4-star Tix added to the RP shop once a month and costing 3 RPs, or a USO added to the RP shop once a month for the cost of 15 Rare Prism? You can only use the 4-star Tix for Evergreen and Storylock Servants. Well, I don't know what an Evergreen Servant, so I probably want that. Do they smell nice? Do they keep all their foliage during the winter? That's very Washingtonian. I would like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the 4-star Tix because I want an Evergreen Servant.
Yeah, that is not typically how we refer to permanent units. That's it.
Evergreen. Springtime Fresh. Pine Scent.
I mean, I know certain card games are referred to that way, but yeah, that's not very popular in gacha terms. Anyway, I'd go for the ticket because you guys have Mr. Man with the luck. You've done a very weird. I almost feel like this is a fucking loaded question because you put the cost of the USO at like arguably a probably overpriced 15 RP.
Yeah.
And you've put a free fucking 4-star ticket at 3 RPs a month, even for permanents and story locks. I'll take that any day of the week. Fuck yeah. So, yeah, there's my answer.
So, there's that. Thank you very much for your question. Congratulations on the roll, but also, fuck you. The next one comes from Gert Kachik Saver. Hang on. There's a gift that I need. Let's see here.
This person managed to pull off a CCC pun, but they have several problems spelling names correctly. I love this W. I should start that one. I don't think I've got that one yet.
So, they say, hey, Loki and Mega, I hope your Murisaki rules are blessed. Well, I wasn't rolling for a Murisaki, but I take your blessings anyway. My question this week, what servant made you hoarding summoning materials to try and summon them? I got a weak will, so I only say for Arish and the upcoming King Protea. Thank you and have a good day, afternoon, night, whenever you're reading this.
How did you misspell every servant's name correctly except King Protea? Are you a flowers guy, my dude? You like flowers?
I like flowers. Listen, Lucky's planning on actually setting up a greenhouse this spring so I can grow, well, it's not the dank weed, but I want to get a Caseru, and I want to make my own herbal blend. It's going to be great, because Caseras are awesome, and they're classy, and I can bonk people with them.
Bonk.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, if you've been listening to Lucky, I don't think he actually needs to answer this question, but I'll let him decide what he wants to say about it anyway. That's one of the things I'm known for in the community is my ability to lock down my rolls in my Saint Courts and save. I do that very frequently. It does usually mean I am pretty lucky with trying to get people I want, without going too apeshit overboard. But it does also mean that sometimes I'm just like, nope, can't roll on this banner, I'm saving.
What is financial responsibility? Can I eat it?
No, you can't actually.
Well, anyway, thank you for your question. We're going to move on. Hey, we only got like 3 left. Cool. So, this next one comes from a knight who says, nee, to the blast beak of Lucky and the finger of God Omega. How are each of you on this fine February day? I'm still spicy as shit here, and I'm really glad I just get to yell at people, and they can't say shit back at me right now.
Now they gotta wait all weekend.
Yeah. No questions this time, though I did want to say that the wanted that the Lucky did was very good. I did notice one repeated line. It was still good, though, and entertaining. Now, I must remember the number to count before the Holy Hand. Yeah, no, I'm pretty, the way I recorded the wanted is I would literally inhale my whole breath, hit the record button, say the line, hit the pause button, take another breath, because one of the things that fucking pissed me off so much is listening back to myself. I hear myself inhale. I'm just like, I hate this. I fucking hate this. Listen, guys, Lucky's not happy with his wanted. Not because it's doing okay, but I look at my finished products and I'm like, I hate everything about this.
Don't you worry, Lucky. Everybody feels that way when you do your first run. Yeah, so for, by the way, this is what I usually use Audacity for, which is free, by the way, kids out there.
Right, no, I did use Audacity, by the way, because I did install it.
But I will absolutely find those fucking inhale noises and hunt them down and be like, noise removal? Remove noise? I do not breathe?
So I wonder what line I repeated. I don't know. Like I said, no one was being like, oh my god, Lucky repeated the line. You see, the way you deliver it's like, I did notice one repeated line. I'm like, no, that's fine, that's good. That's honest criticism. You're not putting it out of proportion.
And I mean, to be fair, you had at least me look over the script, and I don't even remember a lot of repeated lines.
I think it was just because, I probably, because here's the thing I realized, about reading scripts. Trying to read a script and record at the same fucking time is usually a bad idea, and this is why you should probably memorize your script and then say it. Things I have learned. But Oh, yeah, there
Anyway,
is no
that's
actual
3,
question
by the
here.
way.
I was
Yeah,
like,
there's no
wait a
question.
minute.
They're just talking about the Holy Ingredient. It's 3, by the way, not 5. 3.
4 is right out. Anyway, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. We move on to... This next one comes from a Shisho fanatic who couldn't resist rolling for and achieving MP3 sassy caster Maya Sakamoto, who nukes schools with a sphere of knowledge. See what we're talking about here?
That's a pretty good result on that.
It is a pretty good
Also,
result.
however, I would like to throw out, not only have you done this in your alias, but also you have a read more question. And it's another... Yeah, Lucky, I'm sorry. We're just going to throw this out. You've immediately gone to asking another thing about fan content.
Listen, guys. I'm going to put this up for everyone listening. I don't read fan content. I don't. Like, shoot, I don't even read Fate. I don't even read Fate Dojins. I don't care. Listen, like, well, I take that back. I take that back. I like Fue's Chaldea Slow Life because it's fucking Fue. But I think that's like the only exception. I don't care about...
He does not have time to read. He can only
Guess
see
what?
with his
I haven't
eyes.
listened to Omega's OP either. I mean, AP either. All that shit you did in the Fate game, I have no fucking idea what happened to it because I don't have time for that.
To be fair, nobody has fucking time for that. I think we all barely had time to make it. They're like 4 hours long a pop for 6 days.
Listen, guys, I work full 8-hour days. On my weekends, I'm usually recording something. That means during the week, that's when I have to get everything. And I play like a fuck ton of video games. Jesus, I play a fucking man. And I read a lot of manga, and I watch a lot of anime. Hell, I gotta actually take care of myself like a reasonable fucking adult.
Also, another thing is, like, where would we get these? We don't go on the subreddit anymore, really. Like,
No.
for various reasons. So, like, we... Did Granddaughter Bot tweet it? Guess what? I usually, much like Lucky, I don't really pay attention to, like, fan comics and fan skits or whatever. Fuck it. I'll say it this way. If somebody gets their fifis hurt, whatever, I have more important shit to do in my life. Like, I have to create my own content, and I gotta hunt down other content, and I gotta play video games. And I don't always have to play video games, but sometimes I just want to play video games, you know?
And yes, usually Omega's
me a
fans
book I
are new
haven't
to me
even opened
because he usually just pulls them out of a list or makes them on a new, and then he surprises me with it. I'm like, oh, cool, neat, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think, because that's in document form, like, Lucky
Yeah, I
has
still have
skimmed
access.
some of those designs that have come up before, because I've talked about this before, I'm one of those people who I almost never throw anything away that's work. So, but yeah, no, I'm sure a lot of those just come as a surprise to Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why
honestly
you mean
part of the... I would hope that's part of the charm of the design of Fan Servant Friday, is that Lucky doesn't necessarily have preconceptions about what I've brought.
Yeah,
So
no,
he can
and I
offer
usually...
his own comments.
So, yeah, I offer comments, insights, talk about things, ask about things, offer suggestions, and Omega is like, I think it was like, it was one of the servants, I was like, hey, isn't this the servant that went blah? And you're like, yeah, no, that's one of their noble fences. And I'm just like, oh. It's like things like that. Was it for Kaguya-hime? Might have been for Kaguya-hime. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so I'm throwing this out. Just like that. It's out the window. As I said, I know, I'm just gonna answer all these questions forever in the future. I do not read any sort of Fate fan content. I will put a caveat on this. It's not that I think that Fate fan-made content is bad. It's just I literally don't have the time for it. Listen, guys, I'm trying to do my own thing here. I'm trying to establish my own brand. I'm also trying to establish the Studiomega brand. I'm trying to art. I'm trying to make things. I don't have time.
Yeah, we out here doing the hustle. We doing work.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a kid, I read a decent amount of fan fiction and other shit because I didn't have anything to do with my fucking life. That's what being a kid is about. Then you grow up and you have shit to do.
I ain't got shit to do.
Then you die. The end.
Listen, when I'm on my computer, I'm usually not doing one thing. I'm usually playing 2 gacha games, having something play on one screen, and I'm working on something on my first screen. I'm multitasking.
We're going to talk a little bit about multitasking because that is, I think, the one thing killing me about 13 Sentinels is that it requires a lot of brain focus.
Yeah, like I said, now you know why I couldn't play it on stream.
No, I absolutely understand. I think I have 5 hours in that game just because I have a fake hour of playing through all the prologues where I was just letting it sit for 5 seconds at a time while I took care of other shit because you can't. It's not a game where you can multitask easily.
No.
You are either reading or you are doing things. Anyway, I think we got one question left.
Yeah, we have one question. This last one comes from the president of the Kama Fan Club. They say, hey, Lucky Mega, hope your week's been good. Actually, I had a pretty okay week, but today has just fucking murdered me. We're finally at the precipice of Valentine's event. Should be live by the time you're reading this. The thing I've been looking for most is the Beautiful Dreamer CE. I do hope I manage to MLB it before the event's end. I hope you get that drop. My question to you, the two of you, is what CE are you looking forward to the most this year, be it for effects or the artwork? Or maybe the simple reason that it features your favorite character. Mine's the aforementioned Dreamer, as well as the Summer 4 CE that features Suzuka goes in all her glory. Best of luck on your rolls, and hope you guys don't have to go all out for her. Guess what? Look, you have to go all out for her. Well, to be fair, I already got the CE that I've been looking for most of this year. It's Valkyrie style, done by the illustrious Pochi.
Yeah.
Servant Win.
And that's how Redrop started. Yeah, Redrop said they doesn't have a CE this year. They did a whole ass Servant instead. Heyo. Anyway,
Heyo.
I'd have to... Gosh, can I... It's always a pain in the ass looking up seasonal events. I don't know if there's any really cool CEs coming out for summer. I mean, I got the Eretion Rin one at Valentines. That was high on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to check if any of the summer ones are coming up. If I got them, and I'm too sleepy for that.
Too sleepy. He wants something in the future.
There's definitely some stuff I want, but let's go full Boomhauer.
Anyway, man, I can't be talking about no CE in the future, man. I got things to do, man. That's all that stuff and over here, man. Talking about CEs now, you know. Anyway.
Gotcha and gotcha
That's
accessories.
Anyway, that's it for mailbag. We got through the whole thing. What's our mission clock at?
We just crossed 1 hour and 36 minutes, so I believe we would have made the hour mark anyway.
Booyah!
The power of speed read. And also we did throw out 2 of those, but anyway. We read them. We read over them. We didn't read them out loud, but we read through them.
You know who you are.
You know what happened. Alright, well, it's time to shift gears a little bit and talk about Free Talk, which has mostly been blocked out for Valentine's impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you said, I think, did you get all your thoughts out about the one that you did earlier, Lucky?
Well, no, I got plenty of thoughts about it because...
So you can throw that in whenever you feel like as well.
Yeah. But if we're going to start about Valentine's, so this did confirm something that I was wondering about. And yes, one day a library literally just shows up in your Chaldea, and that's where the fucking image comes from.
Yes.
Like, because that was something, I think they were showing it off during, like, the last stream of, like, one of the events was happening, and they were talking in the library. I'm like, where the fuck did that library come from?
Yeah, it was the little mini trailer for Little Big Tengu.
Yeah. So, like, no, Murasaki literally just shows up one day, and it's just like, yeah, I have a library here, and everyone's just all like, cool, let's read books.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, her territory creation is a special library creation skill.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she just makes library.
And it's great.
To book.
Return to book.
Everybody is fucking reading. The nerds. They're also all reading about themselves because they're huge assholes.
I would say egotistical, not necessarily assholes.
Yeah, true. Only some of them are assholes. But yeah, no, it's pretty funny. But so, yeah, this is a modern event. It's set in Chaldea 2. You're just roaming the halls. There's a library. People are reading books. It's a little weird. That's actually, reminds me, what was Mash reading?
She was reading, I believe, was she reading the Iliad?
Yeah, that's right. She was working on the Iliad. The classics.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mash is a huge nerd who loves to read.
Yeah, she does. Because she had nothing else to fucking do.
Yeah. Which is why she knows so much about Sherlock Holmes, because she read all those.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's even in, I believe, isn't that in Babylonia Zero, as you get to see she's got a copy of a Study in Scarlet?
Yeah, no, because Romani's bringing her books and stuff.
Because he was also a big nerd. Nerd! Anyway, yeah, so, this goes about as well as you'd expect. Everybody's reading and it's cool, and you find out about the library last for some reason, because I'm gonna assume it has something to do with the vacation or whatever Da Vinci is doing, because she hasn't showed up in this event at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe little Da Vinci is having, like, secondhand flashbacks to that time that her fake art tried to kill everybody. I don't know. But you meet your new librarian. She's great.
She is adorable.
Yeah.
I love her.
Because she's very smart and very good at her job, but also, as you would expect from Lady Murasaki, she's also, like, on the drop of a hat, she's ready to be super goth anytime. Just ready to fall down at a pile of a wah-wah-wah.
Amanda Awawa's are best.
But apparently one of her books is super cursed, and it's going around making more cursed books. And also, for some reason, Semiramis is on the comms.
Yeah. Yeah.
being Semiramis. But
Apparently, oh yeah, you can say it.
wait, I was about to say. So apparently, it seems like the event from last year is basically also happening off screen. Like we were still importing chocolate from somewhere, but then the cursed books ate all the chocolate for some fucking reason. I don't know. It's an event, man. Just shut up. And now the books have eaten all the chocolate and are super cursed and multiplying. So we must now punch books, fight books, return to monkey.
We're gonna be on Return to Monkey for a while.
Well, listen, it's a great meme in general, but also I've specifically been using it a lot in the context of the progression tournament I'm doing because we are in caveman Yu-Gi-Oh times, and a lot of us try these Unga Bunga Yu-Gi-Oh decks, and some people, not naming names, but you know who you are, do not do Unga Bunga decks, and they try to overcomplicate things, and I'm just like the last one so
Are they an animal?
they're not that animal, but they're one of the animal people we know. Yes.
Okay.
But so to do a comparison to people, Lucky obviously doesn't watch these videos because he doesn't care, and I don't care that he doesn't care. But Lucky may have noticed last week's video was 2 hours long because there were a lot of animal people stall decks in that. This week's episode, which mostly resolved much faster, much more, if not monkey, at least high speed, low drag decks, was 1 hour and 20. So hey, and guess what? I much prefer if it's over 1 hour and 20 minutes than 2 hours. But anyway, what do I know? I'm just one of the guys. Anyway, that's why I'm also so caught up on monkey. I just want to return to the monkey, Lucky. Unless the monkey's also a giant robot. So we're punching cursed books, which is an actual mechanic, kind of. When you do the story fights, at least, there's usually one mob who is secretly a book.
Yep, they have a break bar.
And when you break it, a book pops out. Usually they have funny names because they're obviously fake cursed books. I love it.
Yeah.
And then. Basically, the plot is that you go out with Murasaki to collect all the books.
And this kind of says the thing of just honestly just having a tour of Chaldea and interacting with servants. Basically, everywhere you go, you're basically because apparently Murasaki just doesn't leave the fucking library.
Not like, the librarian. No, I mean, she's a caster with territory creation. That is kind of how it works.
Yeah, but she, like I said, like she is in real life, actually, this is something I actually found really interesting because I did a Wanted. If you actually want that Wanted, a lot of the things that they're actually mentioning in this event should have come up and been relevant to you.
Yeah. It's almost like the people rating this event are probably huge fans and experts.
But
guys, why are Japanese servants always the coolest and have the most lore? Gee, I don't know, guys. I don't know why that would be.
No idea. But so a lot of the event is Murasaki going to a new area, Chaldea, interacting with the servants in there, finding a curse book, booping it on the snoot, drawing the most magical fucking symbol ever. You guys, I didn't actually explain that, but the fucking star that she draws, that's actually Abe no Senmei's most powerful fucking technique. I can't remember the fucking name of it off the top of my head.
Well, the symbol is literally called the seal of Abe no Senmei in Japanese.
Yeah,
like they recognize him as the pentagram guy.
Yeah.
Because it's a 5-pointed star for the 5. Anyway, so let's see. We're three quests.
Yeah. So first was
in the library.
Yep. Then was the cafeteria where we got to hang out with Cat, Boudica, and Emiya. Cat was being Cat, and
then 3 was the writer's room. Also plus Caesar for some reason.
Plus Caesar. Also, I want to kind of slap Shakespeare and Caesar. Just you guys are trying too hard. Just saying.
Well, I saw several reactions from our fan base that night, which were like, hold on, wait a minute. Is Lancelot here? What's going on here? Like, to be fair, for Caesar's characterization, that's absolutely correct. We've talked about how we're big fans of OSP. In the middle of the night last night, it's a blue video, but it's a history video. But you should watch it. It's History's Best Valentine's Tales. It mentions all people you know from FGO. The 3 stories are about Julius Caesar and how he fucked everybody. No, seriously, like, he got around a lot. He had, 3 wives, and also he boned a lot of people, including Brutus's mom. Didn't know that one off the top of my head.
Wow. This might explain some things.
Yeah. Then it talked about Yang Guifei. It'll be about, a year from now, but she's an upcoming New Year's servant. And then rounded out with Marie Antoinette stories. So, yeah, just check it out for history and stuff. But, yeah, no, so, Caesar, totally in character, right?
Yeah, but Billy Shakes, I'm like, guy.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Billy Shakes was supposed to be married, and while he does have some very spicy sonnets, he's not really known for that sort of thing. Maybe they just needed the joke and didn't have any other writers handy. Yeah, Hans is just whatever, dudes, I'm gonna write books.
I don't know, but even Hans is not immune to Murasaki's charm a little bit.
Yeah,
which is great because, like I said, everyone seems to be really taken with Murasaki, and she's like, "Oh, you're being how nice. Welcome to jail. Here, have some cookies." And Murasaki's just kind of like, "Oh, wow." Except for the author, she's like, "Give me books. Give me your books."
Well, and I think it makes sense because, like we talked about before, Murasaki has a huge foundational role in Japanese literature.
Oh yeah.
So, and they would definitely count her among the greats of writing, along with people like Shakespeare and Hans Christian Andersen, who, to be fair, for Western storytelling, absolutely foundational. How many times have you seen people fucking ape the plot from Romeo and Juliet and shit, right? And Disney always steals Hans' best stuff. Caesar's actually also an accomplished author. I don't remember if this came up in the writer's room bit, but
it didn't come up in this one, but it has been mentioned in a previous event where Caesar was hanging on the writer's rooms of the things that Caesar has written. It has come up before.
The most important one is the commentary, where he literally wrote down stuff he did during the Gallic campaigns for 10 years, and it's a really interesting look. So yeah, no, he's also a writer. That's why he hangs out there. But yeah, no. So they have a fun thing, and then Osaka Hime. That's who they said.
Yeah, that's where we're heading to
tonight
next, which is going to be great.
It's going to be an hour from now as of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
That's what time it is, kids. I'm excited to see, even if we just get to see Osaka Hime's room again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the general format for our event.
Yep. As I said, the event's not hard at all. Like I said, the story maps not difficult. These farming quests not difficult. Like I said, usually the last round, where we are right now, let's see, the last one was level 80. I think, I wish it told me actually how much HP they had on the fucking tab. But
sadly, no. I could look it up, but it's not big.
Yeah, it's they're under 150k, so it's not.
Yeah. I literally think the last one we unlock at the end of this will be one of them will be 160k.
Yeah, no, so it's very forgiving, and I kind of feel like it has to be because depending on how many servants you got, they are being very generous with the points, because I think they start you off with literally ×2 surprise Choco, and it goes up to ×3. Yeah, but still, like I said, I've only got 66, and I'm pretty sure I have plus 200 servants, so I'm not even a third of the way there. I have 10 surprise and 1 lock-on, though. I should probably get those. Like I said, but I've already working on clearing out bits of the shop here. Let's see, what have I already bought?
Yeah, I've purchased all my CE copies you can buy in the shop, and I haven't bought all my CE. I am at just under 500k points.
Yeah, let's see here. Where am I at points? I'm at 342k. I'm a little behind. Oh, excuse me, but let's see here.
Kicking my butt in other events.
What all have I bought? So I bought 3 copies of the CE. I bought all the Blazes of Wisdom, all the Fires of Wisdom, and the Night Metals, and the Wait, no, not the Scarabs. The heck? Yeah, it was the Scarabs. I'm dumb. So yeah, like I said, I've just been working on through.
Yeah, I'm working on bits and bobs from the story, getting those EXPs because I got a couple of Castos to raise, and also I'm gonna need those mirrors.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna need those mirrors. I feel like
I've gotten at least a couple from drops, because you do actually fight a couple of new enemies throughout the thing, and they're decent about giving you the drops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, new enemy, new map.
Yeah, I'm just worrying about. Mostly, I'm concerned about future drops for them, because I don't know how many we're actually going to get in this event. Because
I'm pretty sure some of them are scripted, and there might be a node you can farm in the future, but yeah, it's not super huge.
Yeah, like you can get 10 from the shop, which is going to be important. Super important. But, like I said, I super enjoyed the event. No signs of Murasaki actually being into you, which makes me cry a little bit, but also makes sense.
And to be fair, we'll see, because her Valentines is the story lock this year, basically. Like, you will be able to exchange for it after the main story, so.
Yeah.
We got time to hang out and do stuff.
Yeah, but again,
the event's pretty good. Working on stuff. We should probably talk about Valentine scenes, because, guys, they're voiced now, and...
Oh my god.
God, it's dangerous.
Now, first off, again, shout out to Aoka Kanasumi-san, who probably has the most voice lines on it, not just because she does all the Artorias, because she also makes all the faux noises.
Which is many.
Many
faux noises. Many faux noises back and forth. I got Aresh's the other day, and it's a full-blown fucking Kana Ueda and Ayako Kawasumi talk to each other, only one of them is just going, oh. I'm like, God, it wasn't, I'm sure, because they probably had them all in at different times to do them all in bulk, but I would have loved to have hoped that was an open table session.
Well, actually, no, this was like 2 years ago. They might have just been like, hey, you guys want to come and record some Valentines? And they... I'm
sure they called everybody back for like 5 minutes and did them all in blocks. I just don't know if they would have had multiple people.
Again, that is the day that I wish I could have been at the recording booth to just see Alga-Kuzu's just making phone noises into a microphone. I'm pretty sure there was many smiles that day.
Yeah. There were probably a couple takes that were lost because she fucking lost it. Because Fo doesn't say just Fo.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he says Fo with other words mixed in there.
Mm-hmm.
The voices, they're dangerous. I've told this on the Discord before, but I should say it on air. So, my first Valentine ever out of this was Fran, which was bad. That was very bad for me in the middle of the night. Damn near killed me. Cause, slight spoilers if you don't got it, but, Fran only says 2 words in her Valentines. It's chocolate and tasty. Literally, choco and oishi. The rest is all just, and I'm just like, no, not okay. I'm dying. I'm not alright. And I burned through some good ones pretty fast.
My first one was actually from Liz, which wasn't bad. But then my next one was from Medusa Lancer. I'm just like, oh no.
Yes. I'm going to put a pin in that because I think that leads into a conversation about range. But I want to say I did get through some of my favos pretty fast, and I got in my first batch of like the first dozen or so, I got Ishtar and Aresh right away, back to back, like it was planned. And lots of other stuff. I am once again reminded about how much of a unintentional and but too overenthusiastic cockblock Matahari is. Because if she just hadn't decided to lean in when I was playing the pocket game with Mordred, we would have gone all the way. I'm actually quite shocked. I forgot about this because Matahari wasn't in a lot of stuff because her voice actress, who was also the OG MASH, had to take a break for health reasons for like a year. So that's when they replaced MASH's VA and kind of you didn't see or hear a lot out of Kiyo and Matahari. But Matahari shows up a lot as an enabler, a dirty enabler. Oh, actually, I remember another one of the ones that was shocking. I think it was like my third one, but I got like Summer Tamamo like right away. And I'm just
God.
On the other hand, I'm greatly pleased that the translators managed to accurately capture just how much of a fucking lunatic Tamamo is. Because, guys, if you haven't actually listened to Tamamo speak words, it's wild. We've talked about this before for sure, but Tamamo has a very particular dialect, delivered with gusto by Chiwa Saito. But
oh, yeah, no, I haven't got Tamalantis, but I got Tamacats. Tamacats is a fucking trip.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, God.
No, Lancer is gonna... It's the summer powers up Tamamo greatly, so she's talking a mile a minute.
Actually...
one more.
Super Pin. So... Last minute Prisma thoughts. So I don't know if this was in the greater sphere of knowledge or whatnot, but something that Lucky noticed is that Chloe is literally wearing a Tamacat cosplay in the fucking store, and I was just flabbergasted by this. She's literally wearing the bell and apron, and then
I'm trying to remember that. So here's the thing: the mangaka for Prisma loves FGO. He sneaks in a lot of little references. So that could have been like a little bonus art or a dumb joke that was in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where you were going to lead to that, though, is
that Chloe and Tamamo share the same voice actress, Chiyo Saito. And actually, it's really easy to hear when Chloe gets excited. Because, like, I won't say that Chiyo Saito has a grating voice, but she definitely has a... What's the word I want to say?
Easy to recognize has a particular sound, yes.
Yeah. When she gets high pitched, it's very distinctive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When she raises that pitch and she starts talking fast, you're like, wait, you're doing your Chiyo Saito thing right now.
Yeah. And so it was just like I said, I know it's a complete tangent, but it was just one of those things of all like it's all like these are some Chiyo Saito memes right now. How dare?
Some next level references. By the way, I did want to throw this out. I retweeted this tweet earlier, but I want to say shout out to Noto Mamiko, whose birth date is today in Japan, the 6th. And apparently she is 41.
Wow. Noto Mamiko, voices of Altera and Unskahawk.
Mm-hmm. Also Fujino and Brynhilde.
Yes.
So speaking of Chiwa Saito, let's unpin that thing about
range.
I got one more thing I got to mention about me dying, because this was in a second batch. I think the first one I got was Summer Ushi. That one, I was basically in tears. Because it starts with her shuba shuba. She's zipping around. I'm just like, oh no, I can't take it. Shit, dude.
Well, talking about if we're gonna talk about range, Sari Hayami. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised by all this. Because, hey guys, in case you didn't know, Sayori Hayami has a fuck ton of roles at FGO.
Yeah, she does. What is that image?
That's if you remove the text box. That's what she does. She's literally zipping around the fucking frame. It's dangerous. This is a lethal weapon. And she just pokes out for the bottom of the fucking frame. Oh my god. But anyway, yeah, Sayori Hayami has range.
Oh god, no. You don't have an angry cat, do you?
No, sadly I do not.
Oh my god, you need to... So, Atalanta Altars is great. I'm like, I don't know how I missed this last year. I think it's because I must have just been fucking dumb. Wait, no, it wasn't out. When did Lost Belt 1 come out?
Lost Belt 1 might have come out after Valentine's.
Yeah, that must have been it.
So it might be new for this year.
Yeah.
April,
that's
okay,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just done. Okay, so this is my first year seeing Atalante Altars, and it's great. It's literally Angry Cat busting into your room, yelling a lot, leaving you a chocolate, and then basically smashing her way back out because she can't handle the emotion she is right now. So it's just a bunch of short, loud, Hayami just going all out. I'm like, I can't fucking handle this. I really can't. Then she comes back and calms down, and you get the pet her. Then she does a cat thing. She's like, no, this lap is mine now. You're like, personal space, and she's like, no.
Yeah. So Sayori Hayami plays a very few distinct characters. Ushi Wakamaru is one of them, which you can really that's a very high energy, fast speed read, especially as Summer. Yep. Martha is very different. Have you gotten Vanilla Martha's scene yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, you're gonna like that one because it's got the Martha energy because she's trying to be. I'm down here and I'm a saint and we're gonna talk about Saint Valentinus, and then she's like, "What did you say to me? There's a fucking dumbbell in your chocolates? Hold on a minute." So yeah, she does that kind of ping pong between her like angry delinquent phase and trying to be cool, calm saint lady.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of other similar characters.
Do we not have a fluffy Sari Hayami voice? I don't think we do, and that's a criminal. Hang on, let me see if I can find.
Cause I don't know. Cause I got Vanilla Atalantes. I have that one. That one's kind of not really like fully tomboy, but that's a little more direct. But it is light. She has a very distinct read as Melt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but there's a lot of really good just voice work period in here. Ayaka Kawasumi flexes her limbs as everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like her for Saber, she doesn't. I believe she deliberately doesn't exercise a lot of range because it's all the same character basically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have a vanilla. Do I have any animaries? I don't think I do, so I don't really know what she does when she's not being Saber. I think other than Foe, that's like her only other role in FGO is Anne, I think, in that pair. I can never tell the two apart. I don't remember which one's which. Anyway.
Oh, it's bad.
But Kawasumi does definitely have a lot of interesting, like, her read as, because I don't have Vanilla Saber, but, like, you can tell when she's doing an alter voice into, like, her MHX voices, into MHXX, who kind of, like, she tries to play a little in between. Also, that scene is great, because she gives you a thing, and then she's like, and now we must go on a detective quest. We're gonna fight giant monster robots, my dude, and I'm gonna get a bonus. We're gonna go to a resort. And she goes to fight the giant Mecha Liz. It's great. Oh my god. I love it. I think another person who has crazy range is Yu Asakawa, actually. Even though she's only Snicks. Like,
she's only Snicks.
You can actually, like, there's similarity between how she does the small Gorgon sisters and, like, Medusa Lancer, right? Obviously, they're all small. That's her pitched up, talking cutesy. But, like, her delivery as Medusa is kind of, subdued, low. Not quite Contralto of Danger, at least as FGO Medusa, but, like, definitely lower and a little huskier. And then her read as Gorgon is, the danger. That is the danger low. I'm down here. Hi. I'm Gorgon. Don't go. I'm gonna freeze you in place. Give my sisters these chocolates. Bye. Squitch, squitch. Because they weren't voiced, I don't think I ever listened to Valentine's scenes with the sound up before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume that music and sound cues were probably in these already, but I don't know for sure. Because there are a lot of really, really good uses of music in these, by the way.
There is, but do you want to know which one which one absolutely killed me?
Which one?
Blackbeard's. Because when they slice him in half, he actually screams.
Oh, sick. I haven't got to I've done all my ladies. I think I mentioned that earlier. My ladies are all done, except Murasaki. And I'm working through dudes now, but I only got through 5 of them.
It was the greatest thing. Because he's talking in his weeb. He starts off with his serious voice, but then devolves into his weeb voice. And he's in his weeb voice when he gets cut in half. And he's like, ah! And I'm just like, oh my god.
Perfect. Oh, that's going to be fun tonight when I find that one, I'm sure. I might even spend a lock-on that one. God, Blackbeard. Out of dudes, I've had some fun. I did both Chin Wongs, both ends. That was pretty fun. I obviously did Yu Pai-sen. This reminded me of two things. I've realized, because I also have redone Hokusai's. God, they really love to just stick tangents about servants' lore in their Valentine scenes. It's wild.
Well, also, I've noticed, this is especially true as the years go on, because if you notice, Valentine's year ones, they're pretty short. They're sweet, but they're short. But
yeah, that was actually another point I was going to bring up. This made me realize just how simple some of those OG, I kind of hope maybe this year they redo some of those old scenes or something, because they missed out a lot of potential. I have Vanilla Kiyohime, right? If her Valentine scene was made today, there'd be a 3-part epic of you stumbling into your room and finding her wrapped in ribbons, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's just, hey, Master-san, I've got your chocolates. It's me, blah. And I'm just you don't even get a reaction shot or anything. It just ends, and I'm even in the second year of doing Valentines, right? The first batch of summers, they already started bringing a lot more action in. Mm-hmm. Those very first batches are very short, and some of them are good, but yeah, it's interesting to see just how simple some of them. Speaking of Matahari, right? She cameos in a lot of other Valentines, but her own scene is just hey, Master, it's Valentine's Day. I wish you good luck. Enjoy sunset. Boom, chocolates. And I'm okay, cool. Some of these are just so spicy short. Some of them are good short, OG Jean, Medusa are just hi, Master, chocolate. Mary's got another one that's pretty simple, but it's also just fucking hilarious. Because she mentions about fucking Mozart and Sanson trying to figure out who got the bigger chocolates. And she's just it's not how it works, you dumb idiots, you stupid morons.
Well, Mandalorian, standard Anna Mary's is super short. Summer's is short, but at the same time, you're just all oh.
Oh, that's right. They have the danger one where they're like Ferguson and invite you back to their room to fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gotten Fergus's new one, but that's going to be another interesting one. Because if you don't remember, his Valentine CE is literally the key to our room, because Fergus fucks.
He fucks. This reminds me, I need to get a fucking gif of Fergus vibrating.
Vibrating Fergus, that's pretty good, yeah.
Because that's a mood.
Both of Maeve's are decently long. Her summer one is hilarious, though. BT
I haven't seen it. I remember her first one, because I remember some people tried to give Maeve shit for her, and I was
no.
always
try and give Maeve shit. No, Maeve's just about free love, guys.
Mm-hmm.
She gave you chocolates first, and now she's got to go find
Fergus and her
coups to give chocolates. She still ends her line with, when she says goodbye, she still says, okay, bye now, love you.
Mm-hmm. But no, I have not seen Summer Maeve's yet, so
I won't talk too much about the full, but it involves Maeve's plan to play hard to get. It's pretty funny.
But yeah, but no, basically as the years gone on, they started adding in fucking Chi-Chi Wong talks to you about here's a potion of immortality. Do you want to take it? Will you give up death? And I'm just all He's if you take it, we will have a beautiful eternal life together. But you will forever lose, the eternal slumber that is death.
Yeah, and he even says, go talk to that vampire lady about being immortal. Well, and so to bring that up, in Use, she goes on a huge, she hands you chocolate, And she's just like, hey, it's obligation chocolate. Die. Also, by the way, I don't like to hang out with Vlad and Carmilla because I'm not really a vampire, just BT dubs, which explains a lot from our previous episode about vampire lore.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't realize that in her Valentine's scene, she dumped a lot of this facts about how, yes, she can drink blood to get magical energy, and has possibly popped the top on a few humans in her life, but she also can just get energy from plants and animals being around her. She doesn't suck blood.
High class nature spirit thing.
Yeah. So it's pretty...
Ill-defined.
It's so interesting by the way this works, where she's like, here's your chocolate, nerd. She goes on a
And
big
I'm just
vampire rant, and then you're just like your literal comment is just like, hey, these are hand-wrapped, aren't they? And she's just like, oi.
Well, no, she mentions that before that because, she's like, I have nothing to do. I'm fucking immortal.
Right, that's right. That's how she talks about her.
But the thing is, and then you completely, like, blow it off. So anyway, about this chocolate, and she's like, how did you just, like, look past all that heavy shit I said? And I'm just like, chocolate.
Yeah. You call her out on the fact that she calls it obligation chocolate, and I believe it's supposed to be store-bought, but she individually wrapped every piece.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fun stuff. Speaking about music cues, Medea's is great, even though that's also a short one, where she, like, starts off with some sinister vibes, and she's just like, nah, it's just Valentine's. Have a snack.
Medea's a great aunt.
There's a lot of really good stuff. I love how you can tell the timeline of when some of these happened, like... A lot. It's really interesting to think about this in the canon, right? Like, a lot of the first gen of Valentines are set outside somewhere. Like, you're in a simulator singularity, right? There's a lot of sunset scenes, a lot of beaches.
Actually, Artoria is out on the plains, but she mentions that the incineration of humanity is still going on, so we can't dally too much. I'm all like, Artoria, honey, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah,
we're
basically.
Fine. Well, we're not fine, but we're fine from that.
There's a lot of servants have it in, like, the French town background, etc. No, they didn't show the chocolates usually. They were too fast for that. We can't show the images. You get them. You know what they look like. And then you start to get branches into, like, seeing a lot more in the halls of Chaldea, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've become very familiar with the tropes of Valentine's scenes because I've been paying attention to a lot of them in rapid succession. Usually you're in your room or you're in the halls, and they start with trop, someone walking or running.
Oh, by the way, I've gotten both of Astolfo's Valentines, and they're great. I love him. He's great.
Yeah, Rumi Okubo does make Astolfo and Liz distinct.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't say there's a lot of range there, but they are distinct, and they have different languages, because Astolfo uses, like, Boku and stuff. OG Liz is pretty short, but it's got a lot of feeling. And then, for some reason, like, Saber Liz gets a little rambly. Castor Liz is a real... That's a hard hitter, because she talks about how, like, Halloween, and she's your Halloween caster, and don't forget about her even if you get better casters in the future. And I'm just like, oof, that hits different now, Liz. And to be fair, since I own a fuck ton of 5-star casters, I have not used my Halloween Liz in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll do something. They've already buffed a couple of old Belfairs. We'll get you back in the action, Liz. Plus, you never know when you're going to be a bonus servant. You never know. And then, God forbid, the 2 Mecha Lizes, since I have both now this year. Christ. They're just wild, wacky. I love them. But yeah, no, the Stolps are pretty good. But there's a lot of these little tangents, like I said. But I was talking about how for the tropes. So you know that you can see the hallways, and then all the servants who are new this year are in Chaldea Mark 2. So they use the new hallway you can see in the Ushi screen cap up in our Patreon chat now, if you're watching live. And they use the new version of your room, right? And most importantly, they use the new Lost Belt type music, right? So they, like, play the different thoughtful themes and stuff. It's really interesting to see kind of how they've evolved. And also, like we mentioned earlier, you can absolutely tell what are old Valentine scenes from the fact that they're over in, like, 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would not mind, like I said, if we wanted to maybe, like, expand those out a little this year. Though I am very curious to see and potentially hear some of the scenes that are new this year. We talked about this, I think, last week, because we were wondering if Valentine's would start already in JP by now. No, it turns out no. But yeah, no, I still got to go through mails, but there's a lot of really interesting fun stuff. I spent a lock-on Sieg.
Oh, really?
I had seen... Well, I'd seen what it was, and I really wanted to see the story. Oh, it's great. No, you gotta check that shit out. Sieg, great.
Oh, man.
Oh, both Jalters are great now that they're voiced. There's a very infamous typo in one of the Jalter scenes. Take this. or maybe it's not a typo, because Jalter is the kind of lunatic who might accidentally misspeak when she's trying so fucking hard. God, though, hearing her go from, you're eating my face? Oh, it's great. Maya Sakamoto, another one, great range. Her Shiki just like, hey, I'm Shiki, I'm down here, here's your chocolate master, bye. Jane. And then, like, Happy Jean.
Listen, fucking, Archer John is a fucking trip. It's
that's
all
wild,
bubble.
yeah. The fucking whale and dolphin noises, Christ.
Fucking, you have been adopted, do not resist.
Yeah. But no, OG Jalters was great with the read on, you're eating my face? It's like, no, that's a completely different one. And then Summer Jalter is just like, haha, you fool, I've made you drink 10 cups of coffee. And I'm just like, holy shit, my heart's gonna explode. It's so bitter, you'll never taste the sweetness of my chocolate. I definitely didn't fuck up and make sure to balance out the flavor of my chocos. Bye, nerd. Jalter wins again, and just like, chocolate. No, it's great. God, some of these are like really interestingly heartfelt. Like, both Kets killed me a lot.
Oh yeah, no, the ring. I did get the ring, and then I got dragged away for late night lucha watching and wrestling and samba dancing. But knowing Kets, it was probably naughty.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of that in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. It reminded me about the breadth of characters. Jaguar Man, for instance.
Oh, I haven't got Jaguar Man. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, because she threatens you because you don't have tribute, and then she's like, "Would you like to exchange your stamps?" And then at the end, she because she gets like a little serious at the end. I don't remember Taiga's VA off the top of my head. I don't remember her name, but she's got a decent amount of action too, and you can tell from her comedic delivery in like Babylonia. They don't do enough with Taiga's character, I don't think, in FGO.
No, they really don't.
But like she at the end of the Valentines, she's like, wait a minute, wait a fucking second. This is the perfect opportunity for me to show off how cool I was with my skills as an adult. Fuck, I fucked it up.
Oh shit, I haven't got Shiba's
yeah,
either.
Shiba's is great. The return of Special Fluffy Time. With Mofu noises. I'm reminded, and some of this is personal choice, you can choose to be this way, but I love how there's like two major running themes in Valentine scenes. Again, I know this because I've watched like all of them fucking back to back. One, servants either pretending or acting like you didn't get any chocolates yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like Raiko's like, oh no, you didn't get any? Don't worry, Mother is here for you.
I did get Raiko's. I love Raiko's voice. I'm
Very
sorry,
soft, good reads. And also that's you don't really, other than her my room type lines, you don't really hear that level out of her because in fighting she's a lot more action driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
much
hard
sharper
to see the two different range between the characters. But like Raiko's is all about that. Suzuka was as much of an animal as I expected.
Yeah,
in her modern stuff.
People were actually slight tangent. People sometimes are actually like, why do they always go with like the Valley Girl accent for like JK speak? And I'm just like, guys, do you understand what JK speak is? It is
if listen to Suzuka read her Valentine's lines or any of her other lines for that matter, and then listen to anybody else speak.
Yeah,
she is actually slangy.
Yeah.
Now it was interesting. I do actually see what people are talking about. Osakabe Hime wasn't, in her Valentine's anime, wasn't super slangy, but she does have a very stilted way of speaking. And she did throw in some rando English words.
Yeah.
That said, my experience with VTubers has taught me that also Japanese people absolutely will talk like how Osakabe Hime is written. It's just, they missed the boat slightly.
Also, I will say this, nothing against our localization, and honestly, this is they probably have a good reason, but the translations aren't one for one.
No. Like
I know there's a lot of,
if you got a careful ear.
Yeah. Like, a lot of times, like, they'll switch around words, they'll switch around grammar. Like, yes, I can't think of any specifically off the top of my head, but, like, I can listen, like, as I said, my Japanese is at, like, a 1 or 2 level, so I can understand, like, usually sentence structure and whatnot. I was like, no, they actually said this, like, in the middle of the sentence, not at the beginning, like they say in the translation, but in English, it sounds better this way.
Yes.
So
you can't translate them literally most of the time because Japanese has a different word order than English. Yeah. They do the subject, object, verb stuff differently.
Yeah. So, like, I can't take things necessarily at a 1-to-1 translation, and they're trying to set up, I guess I want to say vocal archetypes, I guess I kind of want to say. I don't think that's the proper word for it, but when
they're trying to make a character read a certain way.
Yeah. And so for Osakabe Hime, they need to kind of constantly put in those words so you know that's her kind of her verbal tick. Because that's another thing that they can't do in English. You can't do verbal ticks in fucking
Yeah, I mean,
English.
they do the thing they usually do with this is whenever Taiga, for instance, ends a sentence on nya, they make a cat pun.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but
because
like,
otherwise she'd be saying meow at the end of her sentences, which is just, unless we're playing the game right meow, that's just silly.
But like the verbal tick of trying to be overly polite without understanding it, just, ending everything with desu. It's like, there's no English translation. I think the best they've seen is when they just add a please to the end of like every sentence. I'm like, yeah, that basically comes up with the same connotation, but it's not exactly a one for one.
Yeah, it doesn't flow well. You can do different things in English writing to tell. Like, and I think that the text does a pretty good job talking about, like, Vanilla Martha, for instance. Like, it makes her, when Sayahami's speaking very, very calm and polite, like, they do a very good job of, like, actually spacing that out, right? So her language reads very much, and then she goes a little bit delinquent in the middle, and you're like, the vocal read changes, and then the way the script is done, like, I think she says at one point, like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I mean, they do a different thing, like, something I notice is that, like, usually for those servants who do cuss, mortared, and also mortared, there's others, but it's prominent with a lot of those types, where, like, they will definitely spice up the dialogue when usually it's just like a very intense way of saying, like, baka, like, or a lot of other, like, mild insults.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, believe it or not, for as down, like, because I have Gilgamesh, and listening to Gilgamesh, like, he uses very abrasive speech with you, and while they do reflect that a bit in the translation, it doesn't necessarily feel, like, punchy enough. Like, he refers to you as Kisama, which is, a pretty big insult. It's like, that's basically calling someone a motherfucker or a shithead.
Yeah, and they're oh god, who was it who started their dialogue off that way? Was it? It might have been 100 Personas. There was one female servant I got at when she starts that line, I'm like, whoa, we're starting spicy.
Yeah. But, like, at the same time, it's like, you're not gonna go into a game and just say, oh, like, he said Kasama, let's put that as motherfucker, since that has the same amount of impact. Yeah. It's like, no.
Like with Mordred's line, like, I think one of them was, like, butt face. Like, they made it sound like she was insulting you in a kind of childish way, which calling somebody baka probably is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they kept the tone while also making sure to let you know, hey, in English, this would have a little bit more punch than just being like, you idiot, you dumbass.
Yeah, but like actually getting to hear them and read along with it, it's like these things pop out, and I'm not necessarily saying it is a bad thing, because as I said, like, English to Japanese is not a one for one. It literally cannot be in one for one.
Yeah,
God,
no, we have like there's oh my god, honorifics don't exist in English.
The lack of honorifics don't exist in English.
Yes. And actually, by the way, it's very interesting to hear how they translate, like in the dialogue, the way the dialogue is spoken. They came up with, right? Like, usually the text inserts your name, but usually how that's spoken is Master-san. Whereas if they're actually referring to you as Master with no honorific, like a Master, that's just Master. Like, I think that came up in one of the Artorias. Was it Lancer Altar? That scene is short but still hilarious, by the way. That was, I don't remember if it was a Tonikaku or a Toriaizu. I think it was a Toriaizu. Anyway.
But yeah, no, like, you hear
like
Shuten calls you Dana, which they translate as darling, which is pretty much the closest thing, because...
Oh yeah, no, somebody actually talked about this tonight. They were like, what is... Because you can hear it now, obviously. What is Shuten's weird name for Master come? Danaha is like... That
can either be Master really or husband.
Yes. Yeah. It's a really old-timey way to refer to, like a lover, or also just, like, my guy, basically, like a kind of a dear thing.
Like, also, like, you might have heard a couple times Waga Aruji. That's also just another weird old way of saying my master.
Yes, usually translated as my lord.
Yeah.
Which, yes, you do hear a lot. Waga Aruji, my lord. I am here for you. I am Chiobe Mizuka, and I forgot personal space. Literally, that's what I said, by the way. She appears in your face, and I'm like, whoa, personal space. And she's like, my apologies. I have heard that today we give treats to show our appreciation and gratitude. This is also another thing I appreciate is that, like, in in Japan, they do actually have, like, there's the weird cultural baggage of ladies give chocolate only and then return on White Day, which I'm almost assuredly is the Japanese version of Hallmark is fucking with people. Much like how the American version of Hallmark, aka Hallmark, is fucking with you about Valentine's Day anyway. As several people have elaborated on the story of Saint Valentinus, which doesn't have anything to do with love.
Also, but I will say, actually, I paid attention, so now Lucky has learned about, what was it they call it, Lupercalia?
Yes. There's some Roman, much like Saturnalia into Christmas, Christmas, there's some Roman crossover there. But, the fact that Valentine's is, and I mean, we have this concept in America, we don't formalize it like the Japanese do, but we do definitely have the idea of, like, when you were in school, you probably got what the Japanese would call obligation chocolate, right?
Yep.
Like, everybody just passed out chocolate because that's what you did, because you don't want to leave anybody out. But I like at least that because the Japanese have this so scripted, you can literally put characters in boxes, right?
Yeah.
Like, some servants are definitely giving you love chocolate. They're usually some of them are a little subtle about it, but it's definitely like, hey, no, this is like, I'm sweet on you kind of stuff. Then there's like friendship or like gratitude chocolates you get a lot of like,
Tomo.
Hey, I understand that this is a day in which we show our appreciation for you. You've done a lot for me, master. Here's a snack. And then there's some of them are just like, giri da. Literally duty chocolate, right? Obligation. Which is just like, and those are usually pretty funny just because of the context.
Unless
like,
you're me,
Suzuka's one of those, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Suzuka might have gotten you something better if she had actually figured out that you technically, quote unquote, might not be getting as much chocolate as she thought. Because that's kind of what she implies, and then she goes the whole JK route of, I'm gonna laugh at you, nerd.
Give me your books, nerd. Give me your lunch money.
Yeah, but I'm about to say, unless you're Miyu, who decides to give you all three, because she's...
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I did get her scene pretty early. It's hilarious, because she's not used to Valentine's, guys. So first she's like, I understand. Out of obligation, we give chocolate. And she hands you store-bought Prisma Blue Thunder. Which is very funny because Red Thunder is the chocolate that Mordred gives you, that's half-eaten, because Mordred's an animal. I didn't forget Mordred.
Like, I'm wondering, like, considering that Shiba was talking about a convenience store, is there just, like, some sort of secret convenience store in Chaldea that we just don't know about? Where servants just buy
there's
snacks?
Absolutely gotta be, like, a shop.
Yeah.
Like, and they even talk about, like, we get our food supply from, like, importing through singularities and shit. So, yeah, no, there's gotta be, or, like, race shifting. So there's gotta be, like, a company store, right?
Is this where the Lawson's collab comes from?
That's it. That's we've solved it. Canon. But yeah, so she starts with, like, I decided to give this to you because I must. But also, I appreciate you, master. Everybody told me that it's really great, and she gives you some homemade chocolate. I love the twist on this. And then she's like, and then I heard there was the true love chocolate for the person you truly appreciate. So I made this for Ilya. But I made a huge chocolate cake, and Ilya said that it might be too fattening.
So here, you can have it. I'm
so
like,
please take this. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go make a small one for Ilya now. All right, good luck with that tiny child.
Oh. You know which one actually made me laugh a little bit? Zerk's a lot.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that one yet. That's gonna be
because
really
just hearing him, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, hearing servants who don't speak normally do chocolates is interesting.
And just
Eric, I got Eric Bloodaxe on a rando already, and that's a trip. I'm like, okay,
also,
buddy.
Shout out to Lancelot and the thumbs up at the end. I think there's like 3 or 4 berserkers who just ends on a thumbs up.
It's because they can't speak good.
I
already mentioned Fran, who's just like, choco.
I forget. Also, I want to shout out. I forget how young Asterio sounds, despite being so fucking huge.
Yeah, he's very soft spoken.
Mm-hmm. He's such a good boy. I love him. Let's see here. Who else have I gotten that's actually...
Oh, wow, okay, so that's a thing I didn't know. Somebody's posting... For some reason, somebody has decided to make on Reddit, speaking about Reddit stuff, somebody's decided to make a meme about voice actors with, like, Chiwa Saito and her role in Monogatari.
Mm-hmm.
Now apparently somebody has carried that over to Miyuki Sawashiro, who's in that as well. But they did a grid, and I did not realize that she was Carmilla in Fire Emblem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently. This is to be trusted.
Also,
Jolene Cujo
I can see that.
So that's kind of interesting. This makes me sad, though. I've realized I don't own a lot of Miyuki Sawashiros. I only own the 2 Mordreds and Rama. I don't have Orion, and I have no Nightingale. Maybe I'll get lucky spending tickets on banners. You never know. This is how my Mave showed up out of fucking nowhere, but that was also in like a desperate time thing. I had been rolling a lot for MHXA. Shit's wild. Anyway, yeah, so Valentines have a lot of interesting stuff down there. Range is good. As I said before, the plot is usually... I didn't see my second half of this, so I talked about that right. Like, the first plot you always see is, you didn't get any chocolates. Either you literally haven't gotten a lot of chocolates yet, which doesn't always make sense with the rando timeline, but go with it, right?
Right.
Or Master is an animal to the chocolate people. They're like, listen, I got a lot of these to go through, give me your fucking chocolate. And some of this is your choice, right? Some choices you can be just like you can choose to be like an animal or not with like regular BB and melt, or you can just, like, and honestly, that's how you don't die in those. Like, you don't get a bad end with BB if you're just like, I will now eat the slots machine. And she's just like, what? Or like melt, and you're just like, melt, are you sure you gave me super poison super chocolate? And she's just like, no, I'm just fucking with you. It's just got honey in it, bye.
Yeah, no, I actually went for the bad end this time, because my first year I actually didn't get the bad end, so I'm curious. I want to see what happens, and I'm like, now I see why people
with
were
summer,
like,
lucky if you've gotten summer BBs yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, well, hey, the only way to avoid the bad end of that one is to hit the skip button. She tells you so. Yeah, no, that one's a trip. Several people have been bamboozled and perplexed by that one. They're remembering their OG classic horror vibes. There's a lot of TV screens and static in that one. But like sometimes you can choose to just be an animal and be very blasé about stuff. Super fluffy, special fluffy time comes to mind, where you're just like, all right, Sheba, I don't care that you bought me discount store-bought chocolate. I care that you tried to bamboozle me with a fucking Voight-Kampf test riddle. I will now pet your ears. But also, like, again, speaking of choices you don't have, Paison's another good example of that, where she's just like, oi, did you just forget about all that vampire shit I said to talk about my chocolates? Yes.
Hell yeah.
Chocolate. Lots of other funny times. Those are, like, our 2 major plot lines. And, like, I'm kind of, again, sad some of these older ones are pretty short and sweet, Sony mentioned, Our Carmilla, for instance. Hers is pretty short. It's still got a lot of good delivery, because she's just like, hey, take this, it's a gift for you. And I'm like, it's a cool crystal. She's like, it's fucking chocolate, bye.
Oh, I can't wait for some Carmilla.
God, I don't even remember what her Valentine is. It's probably something crazy. That's gonna be.
I think it's a calling card in chocolate, if I remember
almost
correctly.
Assuredly. The designs for these are so great. Was it? Neji gives you a lotus. That was hilarious, by the way.
It's because she doesn't understand necessarily what Valentine's is about.
She just thinks it's a gift giving thing with sweets, and she gives you a nice sweet, and then she's like, "You must return the chocolate."
And you're like, "Nope." I'm talking about number 2. You're just like, "Nope, mine."
She's just like. Just imagine Nez's little.
Also, honestly, flustered servants is also a good mood. It's just like
actually, I suppose that's a third plot point: is servants don't understand what the fuck is going on and give you chocolates anyway.
Yeah, I think technically I would put Aresh in this, because she practiced for like a month, but when duty called, she's like, "Ah."
Yeah, and you can tell from the kind of way to read that like Aresh is actually like freaking out and not speaking well.
Yeah.
Compared to Ishtar, who is like uber confident, like, yo, what's up? I'm Ishtar. You've given me a lot of cool stuff. This is the one day of the year you get shit back. Enjoy these. They're chocolate, but also they're gems. They will enrich your bank account and your stomach. Bye. I'm like, thumbs up.
Shout out to Caster Gills for being not much of an asshole and actually pretty fucking cool. He's like, how dare you give me this chocolate? No, it's not the quality, it's how much. How are we supposed to eat together with this little? How dare you? Let's go party.
I appreciate that. There's a lot of them who talk. One of the best ones is a VK Braun. That was one of the first dudes I got.
Oh, I didn't get a VK Braun yet.
Oh, it's great. You give him chocolate, he doesn't realize what the fuck's going on. He barges into your room later and is like, Master, there's an emergency. I've realized you gave me Valentine's chocolate, didn't you? And you're like, yeah, no shit, dude. And he's like, I must express my gratitude properly. And then he gives you tiny chocolate golems. They're adorable. I love them. But actually, this reminds me of an interesting thing. So talking about specific Valentines, here's another weird one. Actually, this reminds me. Lucky, do you have an Anastasia? I don't remember.
No, I do not.
Interesting. She's permanent.
Yeah,
Talk about this as our weird luck thing. I got 2 of those.
Yep.
Anastasia doesn't. I believe this plays out no matter what gender you are. Anastasia demands chocolate from you, and she gives you a return gift. It's actually kind of interesting.
Wild.
Yeah. She gives you her own V doll, which she says is slightly autonomous and may have supernatural phenomena engage around it, which is absolutely true. It comes to life at night and fights your Miniku plush, who is canon. But yeah, so I thought that was, when I was playing out the scene, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. She demands chocolate from you, even though it's Valentine's Day, and she gives you a gift back. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I don't have her. Well, this year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Permanent, never know. Shit's weird. Both Da Vinci sides, very sweet. I love them a lot.
Yeah, I haven't gotten either Da Vinci's. I thank God I got her this year.
You'll enjoy them. They're good.
Let's see.
The tone switches between servants who are on both sides are very interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the female side for Da Vinci is you're basically out on a date in a museum, and she gives you her chocolate, the Vitruvian Man in chocolate, which glows. You can actually say this, by the way, in the thing. You're like, Da Vinci, why is this chocolate glowing? And she's just like, it's perfect art. It should definitely glow. I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna eat it. But then, like, when you give her chocolates, it's kind of an interesting thing where you pop into Da Vinci's workshop to be like, hey, yo, Da Vinci, you want some snacks? And she's like, oh, cool.
Also, shout out to Leonidas' voice actress for a great delivery during his, because Leonidas just has a great voice.
Yeah, speaking of male range, by the way, that guy's great.
Yeah.
Again, bad with names, don't remember, but he's he's also Sasuke Kojiro, but he's Nudist Beach Man.
Mm-hmm.
Great delivery.
Caesar's
Caesar's is pretty rad to do. I've gotten the Caesar style Cena already.
I still think one of my favorite males is Geronimo's. So
I haven't gotten to Comfy Moccasins, though I did appreciate Geronimo's cameo once again in Abigail's. Abigail's is as sickeningly sweet as you thought it would be.
Yes! Soon.
It's just adorable. Bunyan is great, too, because she makes the giant flapjacks. By the way, I forgot. It's canon. Emiya skates on grease with bacon.
Yep. Does triple axel, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, and Bunyan's just like, hey, you can eat all the giant flapjacks? And I'm like,
nope.
No? Of course not. We can share. That's a very common theme, is sharing chocolate. Sharing the sweets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of really good shit here. I can't wait to get them all out. There's a lot of dudes I gotta work on.
First step to rebellion makes me laugh, because I forgot Spartacus literally puts you in manacles and tells you to break out as your first step, and you're just like, Spartacus, no. It's like, Spartacus, yes.
Okay. Spartacus, yes. Okay, Spartacus.
Let's see.
You know, talking about scenes that are short and good, Boudica reminds me, like, she's got a very direct one. She's another one of those, oh no, you didn't get anything? Don't worry, Big Sis has got something for you.
Well, no, Boudica's was, like, she's definitely acting like the Renaissance, like, why didn't you get, like, have you got the chocolate from the special person you wanted yet? Mm-hmm. And she gets, I mean, she's like, I want chocolate from you, and she's like, oh no, I usually don't make, chocolates for, like, everybody. I just make big, giant chocolate, and like, do you want this? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll take that.
Cake.
Fujinon was great. Actually talked a little bit about her backstory.
Uh-huh. She talked about home ec classes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I love the tangent she gets into about the bridge. You ask her about the fucking bridge chocolate, which is there, and then she's like, oh, well, I was just struck by, like, how cool it would be for me to make a bridge you could eat. You'll have a lot of fun destroying a bridge. Isn't destroying buildings fun? And you're just like, well, her alignment is evil.
That's like, happy thoughts, Fujinon. Happy thoughts.
Only crunched little chocolate bridges.
Let's see here. Tota's like in the same vein of Geronimo's, because I like the fact it's like, here's the thing, but also I'm going to teach you a thing. I'm like, I like learning.
It'd be really interesting to hear Emiya's delivery, because he's the cooking set. Don't have that one again yet, but that'll be fun.
I got Emiya Alter, and again, Junichi Sawabe isn't a man that usually has a lot of range, because you can always tell Junichi Sawabe, but the way he delivers
like him, but yeah,
the way he delivers between Emiya and Emiya Alter, you definitely feel the weight in Emiya Alter of, I've been through some bad shit. I'm just trying to get through my day to day. Okay, it's just like, ooh,
yeah. And then He does, like, you can tell it's the same guy, but he does have a slightly different way he voices Siegfried.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, I gotta look forward to Sigurd this year as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta shout out to the Saints for blessing fucking talisman, because I got St. George's, and he's like, I have a horse that no one ever fucking sees despite being a rider, and I made you a bracelet, and all the Saints got together and we blessed it, even the one who didn't want to, because you're cool. And I'm all like, I'm pretty sure this is pretty fucking powerful.
But also, funnily enough, George has got an animation update in the future coming where you do actually get to see his fucking horse.
For once. Let's see here. Headpiece of celebration. That's Lou Boo's. He told me to wear it on my wedding day. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it's a piece that
headpiece of celebration. They call it.
Yeah, it's I believe it's modeled after a piece that was like it was a piece of jewelry he's supposed to have given to his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Salieri is the pitch black conductor's baton, where we have one of those tangents of Salieri and be like, I am not a man. Do not treat me like one. I'm out. BT Dubs, by the way, here's I'm gonna send someone else to give you this gift. I think it was it wasn't Da Vinci. Da Vinci did Gilgamesh, Babylonia Express. It was Marie who delivered it. Honestly, a chill one that I really like. I forgot his name. Sitting Man.
Yagi Munenori.
Yagi Munenori. You just go to Japan and you just take a walk to see a bridge, and he's just like, this scene is fake, but so am I. Therefore, it is real as I am. You know, big thoughts.
Yeah. It was Chin Langyu who gave you Panda. Panda. I love it. It's adorable, and also I do. It's nice to see her kind of on an even footing. Have you gotten Onikures yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's a shoot and tries to have some fun with you moment. All delivered with Aoyuki's lovely ASMR voice.
Yep, the combination. Such breathy. It's a combination concept, dialect, and ancient dialect. It's works.
And
it works.
She has that very breathy, slightly slurred way of delivering, too.
Mm.
But also that one still turns out funny in the end because her chocolate is literally a fucking Goho Shoujo Magi Defender branded chocolate. And I'm like, wait a second.
Where did you get this?
Apparently, by the way, Caesar and Sheba helped her out with that. So we've got a marketing campaign going on, Lucky. It's not good.
Oh, no. All funded by Glorious P.
Yes. Summer Ibaraki was adorable. It's a cotton candy. Emiya gave her 2 and was like, it's better to share. And she's just like, wait, no, the good man gave me the candy, but he said I should share it. Fuck, shit, I've got to share. Fine, take it. Take the dumb cotton candy. I'm not mad.
Oh, Ibaraki's great. Yeah, no, I got like 10 surprise chocos waiting. It's just, I'm not gonna fucking watch them while we're recording because I'll be distracted.
Speaking of Mamiko, Altera Santa. Ho, ho, ho. Oh my god. She doesn't make any sheep noises in the Valentine scene, but it's still pretty good. Osakawa Hime's is really, like, the context of that this is my first year having her. The context of that one is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, she talks to you a bit like a weirdo, then blitzes back and is like, also chocolate, and then she leaves, and she feels bad about it because her chocolate is, like, cracked, and she tried to write a letter that was, like, super sweet and stuff, but she's bad, so she didn't. She just gives you a letter. It's adorable.
But then she's, like, secretly like, yes, I did it. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, God!
By the way, speaking of a one-person's range, let me make sure I get the name right. Ria Kogumiya, Nobu's voice actress.
Yes.
Like, even in just being Summer Nobu, she uses, like, 3 different tones of Nobu. Nobu also uses 3 different ascensions. Funny how that works. But I was like, man, wow, this is a lot of range just for this one character, going from, like, boom, I've got you even better chocolate. It's fucking on fire, dude. Now let's really set it on fire, and then we explode, and then we have, like, a heartfelt conversation on the beach. It's great.
Well, like you said, but also Ria Kogumiya is one of the vets.
Yeah, I know. She's been in this a while. And a lot of these I love the subtle themes, right? Like, like the fact that all the Gorgon sisters basically have the same theme for their chocolate.
And they're usually looking for one another.
Yes.
Well, Medusa is looking usually for her sisters.
And I believe it's canon, the reason why they said why OG Medusa gives you very fancy, but I believe store-bought, is because she didn't have time to make you chocolate, because she helped her sisters, which is why theirs are so similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gorgon does the eggs that they break out of. It's really great. I'm just scrolling through all the ones this year to see if there's anything interesting that I haven't talked about. Oh, that's right. This is my first year with Nitocris. Blessings from the Nile was new. It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. She tries very much. Yes, you must give tribute. But just this day, I shall give you something. And then she's like, I'm like, the Medjed are watching. And she's like, of course, it's part of it. Anyway, eat your chocolate.
No, Valentine's is one of my favorite events just because I get to see all these happy-go-lucky, wholesome, sweet scenes. I'm just like, yes, this is
Yeah, and they get to talk about a lot of fun stuff. Jack was interesting. I got both my Nero chocolates, obviously. It's pretty fun. Like, I love the contrast, too. Like, Vanilla Nero is like, listen, normally I like to receive gifts, but today I'll make an exception and make sure everybody gets some fucking chocolate. And then Bride is more like, this is a special day for, like, you and me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's is also short but nice. Not enough Drake action.
No, I think we need another Drake.
We need another Drake, or Drake needs to be in, like, an event. Or, hey, you could give her costume from Extella. Link, it's super cute.
Was Drake in Atlantis?
I do not know. I don't think
because I know there's a lot
prominent, but there are also, I believe, there were a decent amount of NPCs in that. So
because I remember like there was a lot of ships and like the CM and stuff. So I was like,
sadly, I'm looking at a list of all the Valentines that were current for this year that we're doing, but it doesn't include the males on the same tab, and I don't want to go hunting for it. But I'm sure there's some fun ones in there.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to do Lancelot again, like you said, not just for Lancelot noise, but also because his gift is a fucking one of the swords he stole from Gil. I love it.
And I like your reaction is just like, I'm sure I'm supposed to have this, but whatever.
Well, I mean, there's also, I can't wait for the reads on, in case anybody forgot, Emiya Assassins is he gives you bullets and a gun.
And tells you
bullets are chocolate.
But he tells you, no, I think they're
right. They're real.
Because he's like,
that's Billy's
it's
thing.
a reminder. It's a warning. Very, oh, no, that wasn't a CE drop. You lied to me! Lucky still.
I just realized, holy shit, I just tabbed over. It's a new login. I need to, let me data update and log in. But I checked what the banners were. One is Sanzo, but the other one's Lancer Artoria, and I'm like,
oh no.
I've got quartz, oh no.
Oh no.
I've got like 300 left. I might do some spins just for hell of it. See if my luck's changed. It is technically a different banner.
I'll try it.
We'll see what happens. I have to do the full login now, though, because I was already in FGO before it updated, so.
Yeah. But, yeah, I remember Bart was, and Jason was. Those are the two that I know were in Atlantis, but I feel like there was more ships. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know all the details yet. We'll see when we see.
We see.
Speaking of which, it's gonna be great.
Like I said, so right now we have hit rollover, so that means new quest, so we should probably actually think about wrapping up so we can actually get to it.
Yeah, we've been going for almost an extra hour. So the first thing we should go before we lead off, because we're just gushing about Valentines. We'll do it more later. We'll do it again when the new Valentine CEs at least come out for JP, hopefully soon. There's a lot of interesting ones I'm going to see. I'm sure whatever they do for Kagakia will be painful. Unless it's just like, they could make it a goof also, where she could just be like, here is a sword, kill Genji. I'm like, this isn't chocolate at all.
What if it's a chocolate? Wait, no, doesn't regular Ushiwaka?
Yeah, regular Ushi gives you a chocolate sword. She guarantees it will allow you to kill at least one enemy. And I'm just like, it's great, thanks.
Well, who knows? Depends. Well, to be fair, it depends if the chocolate, if it's Kagakia or if it's Yoshitsune.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see, because I don't even...
We get to see Pukitoji chocolate. It's going to be huge, I bet.
Oh, yeah, God. Especially because she's modern. Will she give us more Pocky?
Will she give us giant Pocky?
Ooh, giant Pocky.
Will she give us giant Kusanagi Pocky?
That would be great. I love the branding on that. I want some Pocky. I don't have any. Is Pocky cheap to order on Amazon? I bet it is.
It is.
Nah, if I'm going to order anything on Amazon, I should order more of those FGO wafers. Do another one of those videos. Anyway, we'll see what everybody does. I'm very curious to see about a lot of stuff, and I was about to bring up earlier before Lucky was bamboozled by Ibuki Doji chocolate possibilities. I was going to say I'm going to be very interested to see who counts for both sides, right? Who can give gifts and give chocolate. That's always an interesting one. Like, I'm very curious how Canis is going to be treated, and what she will give and or receive.
Oh yeah, we're going to have Canis, Dioscuri.
Dioscuri will definitely be on both, and I hope they do it properly and they actually split the twins up between scenes.
Oh god, we're gonna have an Ashia Doman chocolate. Or return gift, excuse me.
That's gonna be horrifying. I'm not ready. That's gonna be one of those personal space things, guys, I'm sure. We'll be able to do a return gift from Odysseus. It'll probably be rad. God, I hope he gives us a tiny figure model of the Trojan horse. That would be great. I'd love a full mecha model. I know what I like.
Let's see here. Suna.
I'm thinking of Nemo's going to be really interesting.
I mean, like, speaking of models, give me a tiny fucking Nautilus model.
Yeah, I think I joked about that last week. I'm wondering if it would be a Nautilus model thing.
Also, I kind of want to, like, I know everyone says that they're male, but I'm like, come on, be on both sides.
Well, you never know, right? That
also means we're gonna have Van Gogh.
Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna be a mindfuck. I feel a mindfuck coming on.
They like to sneak their bad ends in. Speaking of which, by the way, there's also new summers. Summer Kiara, Danger Zone.
But it also means Summer You.
Yeah. Whatever she ends up doing, there's also the...
you fangirls are going to be great. That means we're going to get a Nobukatsu chocolate this year.
Oh, yeah. Also, we'll see what Himiko does. I'm sure it'll be great.
It's going to involve clams. It's going to be chocolate clams.
That seems okay. As long as they're not real clams in my chocolate. I don't know about that.
Or chocolate pearls in a clam.
I'll do a clam chowder. That could be okay, but like...
Yeah, it's either going to be a full chocolate clam or it's going to be chocolate pearls in a clam.
All right, well, I'm doing a second 10 spin, and it's a Silver Rider sparked to gold. Who will it be? It's another Martha. I think that's NP3. Game, Are you telling me to stop rolling? I have 247 quartz. We got stuff coming up. I don't...
See, now that he's rolling, I want to roll. Let's see here. What do we got?
Being sassy with me, Lucky. I'll do a third roll.
I'll do a 10 spin on each banner. Just for shiggles.
Fuck you, game. You're not better than me. Skip gang!
Skip gang, activate!
I'm getting more CEs anyway.
CEs! I got a min roll on one of this. What the fuck? I think I'm... let me see here. Okay. Let me go to the other banner here real quick. Skip gang!
I'm at least getting decent extra copies of Valkyrie style.
Ring fire? Oh yeah, no, fuck, man. No.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of that. Was a bad rolling in there. That wasn't me, but I've got a lot of extra silver servants all of a sudden. Well, I need mana prisms.
Yeah, no, well, I didn't spend all my quartz, but boy howdy.
Well, there's 90 quartz I'm not getting back. That's a lie, actually. I will get some of that back. I've actually been getting a lot of bond leveling up lately. Because we're spreading shit out. But
hey, Da Vinci Chan, let me eat these real quick.
Let's go ahead and Noble Phantasm increase. Alright, yeah, Martha was NP3, so she's now NP4. And that's where we stop. Because I don't want to go broke, because I got shit to do. I might want to throw some full 10 spins at that King Protea banner. Because I could always use more... Wait, do I have... Actually, no, I don't think I have an AoE alter ego, do I?
No, that's Lip and,
Yeah, that's Lip and Kiara, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got them. And Okitan. I don't have any of those. I have Melt and I have both Mechalizes, so... yeah, I probably... Not only because I like King Protea, but because I need that niche filled. I should probably roll on that. Listen, I love Redrop's work. Kama is a cool design. I really don't need another fucking single target assassin. I really don't. The game loves giving them to me. Watch, I'll pull her on a fucking ticket, and then Lucky will be upset. I'll be upset.
I will. Yep.
Everybody will just be like, barg, barg. Anyway, Tonikaku. I was going to mention this earlier, because we still got distracted by Valentine's stuff. To wrap up, because we mentioned it earlier, is there any stuff you want to say more about the one you did?
Oh, well, fuck, man. So, I think I mentioned this during Mailbag, but I'm not happy with my wanted. Not in the views and whatnot, it's just my overall work with it, because I made this joke self-criticism, complete stab at myself on Twitter of, be me. Be able to condense a 8-hour workday into 5 hours efficiently. Also me. Can't complete a 2-week project in 2 months. Because, honestly, with the wanted, I actually planned, if you guys haven't seen it, you probably should, just to see it. Like, I didn't do what Omega usually does. Omega usually, throws it up, has a style, and then throws up all the information as his bed image. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, so I made a new thumbnail, put targets on it, and in the video, I used my summoning screen video that I've had fucking forever, and I want to use again, along with the faux screens, because it's been forever, I want to use them again. I just put it as a static background, threw on Burasaki, put more targets. I'm all like, I'm gonna say witty shit here.
Great energy, by the way, with those foes. It starts with connecting, then you do the Patreon greed, then goes to loading.
Yeah. But originally I was actually planning on having a lot more content and animation in it. Not so much like back stuff, but like when I was talking about like things I wanted to do, like when I started talking about embers, I wanted embers to fall from the top of the sky and just pile up and then fade out. When I talked about the materials, I wanted them to, slide onto the screen with numbers. That was the original reason why I actually listed out all those all those things, is because they were supposed to be hooks for visual gimmicks. And even though I decided I wasn't going to have time to do the visual gimmicks, I decided to keep that in there anyway. But also, I do want to say this to the person who said that I didn't need to fucking list all the embers and stuff because you could just look it up on the wiki. You can look up all that fucking information on the wiki. So if you're already going there, the video doesn't fucking matter. Heck.
That is true. By the way, and Lucky mentioned my bed image earlier. Guess what? I steal those from wikis.
Yeah.
I literally repurpose them into a single page format so you can see it all on screen at once. You don't need me for that.
Yeah. So that's why I said what I wanted to do. I wanted to do more visual gags. And as far as I understood, they'd be pretty simple. They'd literally just be a bunch of objects moving across the screen. I didn't have to maybe do some little transition stuff. Might have been a little intensive to work out, but I could have done it. But another thing that was actually kind of bothering about my wanteds is my length, because I was actually checking out the other one. Is like, how long are your wanteds? And I'm like, they're anywhere from 20 minutes to 40 minutes. Fucking Dallas, the goddamn madman, was like an hour 20. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, Dallas did. I mean, I cut that down some, but that was definitely longer because it was that front half that he helped me record with the history stuff, and then all the back half also.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my 20 minutes. I was like, man, maybe I should have actually stretched out, because that's the thing. I tried to not over-explain Murasaki. I tried to keep it focused down on points of in her history, where she was born, how she got into her situation, why she became an author, where she went, how she became, a lady in waiting, where she stopped. I didn't really focus about her daughter. Sei Shanagon wasn't her only rival poet. She actually had several in the courts, and and there's a little bit of tits and tats, and she had thoughts on them. Jesus fucking Christ, she had thoughts on them. But I was like, no, this ain't, people probably aren't necessarily interested in all that stuff, so I'll cut it out. But then I'm like, yeah, no, it's just this is just 20 minutes, and like I said, some people were talking about how the delivery between me and you is different, which I completely understand. But at the same time, I was all like, I wonder how though, because again, I don't watch your wanteds necessarily because I'm sorry, I don't got time for that.
We did just talk about how some of them are 30 or 40 minutes long.
Yeah. So I'm just I don't know, because I don't people were saying they were it, but they were noticing difference. I'm like, but is the difference a good difference? Do they prefer Omegas? Does they prefer that style? Because like I said, when I do something, I want people to, generally like it and have, positive feedback and, go invite your friends, show your friends, grow the channel. And let's see, where is that? We're 780 something for Wanted Murasaki, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not doing bad. At the same time, I did do I did try to add some flash and some flare, and doesn't seem to necessarily have generated any extra oomph to that. So I'm a little concerned because maybe I shouldn't have bothered with the extra oomph, or do I need to go further with the oomph? Do I need to make the script longer? Do I need to change my delivery? All that kind of stuff. So I'm probably as much as I like King Protea and Kama, I'm probably not gonna do them because King Protea is OG, and
that's gonna be a wanted that will probably be unfortunately somewhat short and got to be worked around because I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky doesn't want to do it, I'll do it.
And I'm also skipping Kama because I am the OQ Labyrinth event is something I'm super excited for, and if I start doing deep research on Kama as a servant and Kama as a thing, I feel I might spoil myself here, and I want to try avoid doing that. So I'll probably pencil myself in for Mao Nobunaga and just do all of Nobunaga, which is quite a fucking bit.
Okay, so I don't know these generic stats off the top of my head, but supposedly according to our YouTube analytics, which are also always 2 days out of date, YouTube, thanks guys. We got about a 25% not subscribed hit rate on your wanted video.
Oh.
So about a quarter of those views are from people who are coming in off looks like mostly YouTube searches and suggested videos actually.
Oh wow.
Are recommending stuff together to check out things and go through some different stuff. So yeah, it's attracting new people. At least we got at least +1 sub off it. Subs are also weird; they fluctuate a lot. We're currently, we're back down to 29, 28. I'm sure when I look tomorrow, it'll be back up to 29.30, and then it'll go back down to 29.28. I assume most of that is just YouTube will like pick off bots and stuff or dead accounts, prune stuff back and forth. Because I mean, there are definitely spam accounts who occasionally hit us up with spam comments that I just delete.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like, so if people are like wanting to compare the styles directly, like, I don't technically script Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't script a lot of our content actually.
Yeah, people were actually mentioning that I sounded kind of professional. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't script and I don't heavily edit, like line by line, again, because I'm recording in there for like 30 minutes, so that's really annoying to listen to yourself. This is actually one of those fun things I get to do occasionally. Like I did this with Dallas and actually do a little bit of that editing polish. It's great when you can work on other people's audio. But that probably means that my videos are obviously longer because I do stuff like say but and and I have pauses like that. Usually I edit most of them out, but there's a little bit of expansion. But it probably feels a little more like natural and off the cuff because I'm just like, okay, I did my research, I did all my reading before time, I gather all the info into my body, and then I just like jazz, like Sumai ink painting. I just bring all the stuff I know to the moment, and then sometimes that works, and sometimes I do 5 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, this video is awful. Hold on, I need to start over.
Lucky was recording for several hours as he constantly would flub his lines and have to start over.
Yeah, that's the other thing of a script, obviously, which is if you know your lines exactly, then like you know like, that was not a good read. Whereas with this, for instance, where this is all basically improv, the only thing that approaches scripted, quote unquote, is when I write big notes on like Timecodes or pre-games and stuff, where I basically pre-write my notes ahead of time and read them. Oh, I don't. Actually, that's a good question. People out there, can you tell when I'm reading directly from notes and I'm not just editorializing or just coming off the cuff? Yeah, let me know. Also, but yeah, so that was the wanted thing. Any further commentary, Lucky?
No, like, if you guys want, like, I want to say, if you guys have any ideas for me or, like, any ideas that you like maybe see and I want to, let us know in the comments below. Like, I'm always open to feedback, just don't be a fucking ass.
Yeah, don't be a dickhead about it.
Don't be a dickhead about it. Cause, like, we actually mentioned this before, I'm much more experimental with stuff. I'll just do shit off the cuff and wild and go and see how it goes. But at the same time, my heart is fragile. Mm-hmm. So
me, I'm like, yeah, I know Wanted only has 2 bed images, maybe, but that's how I make them so fast, because sometimes FGO only gives me, like, a weekend to work with.
Yeah. Me, I'm all like, I'm gonna do all this extra stuff, but if it doesn't, like, land properly, I'm like, I'm dying inside. My whole life is broken. What is this? Lucky's on the ground playing the world's smallest violin for himself. So... So, guys, if you have any feedback, tell me what you guys want to actually see in a Wanted, and I'll try to incorporate that into Wanted, Mal Nobunaga.
Yeah, he'll work on the experimental stuff, and then that tech level will basically, like, Lucky is the super prototype, and I'm the mass-produced. Like, what Lucky learns will slowly trickle down into mainline content.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, that's
now,
how, like, that's how, like, thumbnails, fucking thumbnails, mailbag, hacking, what's up, fucking...
Yeah.
Like, a lot of things Lucky just goes, hey, let's do this, and Omega's like, okay.
And then if it works, and we just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Our What's Up Lives that I miss, though, the Premiere Strat and also Cool Name seems to be working out. Though, obviously, calling an episode Space Princess Anime and putting the Precon logo in is clearly much better, because that one's got like 100 more views than 13 Things Fallen Empires Hate. It still did okay, though. People, I guess technically now it's settled out so that it's about the same level. It's still got multiple dislikes, the Lucky and Omega versus the World. But I guess people just didn't like that one as much. We'll see what we do tomorrow. Anyway, now that we're done with that bullet point, there's just one last thing I want to do, which is, it's a new month, which means new Patreon polls. I remembered on like the 4th or something to do them. Listen, I've been busy with a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of projects I'm in. That hour 20-minute video I posted today, I shot that Wednesday night, so I was busy with stuff. But they're up now. Fan Servant Fridays out for this month, featuring a selection between Melusine, Avenger, Psyche, Archer, Pygmalion Caster, and Tamlin Lancer. I'm surprised, but not surprised that I think we've got a decent amount of the votes in, and Psyche appears to be winning by quite a wide margin. We'll have to see how that turns out. And we've only got 2 options for Timecodes Sensei, so I need some more volunteering ideas here, if you got some. But it looks like Who Are the Three Founding Families is winning right now.
Okay.
Not by like a super huge. It's like by 2/3, but it's definitely in the lead over what are the True Magic, which is our other option. So if you got any other interesting lore theory crafting type Timecodes Sensei stuff to go over, and I definitely have had fun doing some of our more loosey-goosey ones, like the one on, like, demonic swords and stuff. We can poke around with stuff. Let me know about things. You could ask about... You could decide you guys want to know about what the fuck's going on with all this Onmyoji stuff going around, Onmyodo. I could try and figure out how that works, then that's different than just doing Magecraft stuff. I don't fucking know.
Well, technically, I think it is. I think Murasaki was actually talking about the differences between Eastern and Western Magecraft.
Yeah, that I think is just a backstory stuff, and we've talked about how Magecraft is before. The Eastern styles are thought of slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, for the most part, FGO treats certain elements of Eastern and Western mysticism the same, right? Like the Fate Writers. Like, the skill Curse in Japanese is Witchcraft. I think it's like Maho.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, it's your skill with Western or Eastern witchcraft traditions. So you've got, like, Tamamo being, like, the peak of the Eastern style, but also Mephistopheles is, like, Western style witchcraft. And it's the same skill, for the most part, unless they do weird stuff, like do weird curse versions. But, yeah, that's what I got for Patreon stuff. The polls are up. They're doing stuff. You want to join these, support us on Patreon, $5 or higher. We're ready to rock and roll.
Are you?
Well, so this is the thing I mentioned. If True Magics wins, that's probably going to also be a little more, like, loosey-goosey expansion-y, because some of the True Magics are fucking nothing.
Yeah, but we can talk about maybe who wields them and uses them.
Yes,
and why
well,
they use
so
them.
because somebody's asking about, can we do something on just Deltrits? I'd be like, nah, probably not. But also, when I talk about Second Magic,
Kaleidoscope!
we will probably talk about him, because he's the guy who has it and does stuff with it. Whereas, we're just
Punch
not
the
going to
moon.
talk about Fourth Magic, I think, is one of the ones that doesn't exist yet. There's a couple of the numbers of magics which are just like...
Honestly, mostly we're going to be talking about Heaven's Feel and the fucking Kaleidoscope.
Yes.
Way.
We will mention, I think First is the big one from Tsukihime's background.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I don't remember which one it is. I think it's First. We'll mention that at least, because that's important to several characters who are important in the greater lore, but we will probably not harp on it super big, because it hasn't really come up in Fate. But it will definitely be like explaining what the fuck Heaven's Feel is, explaining the Kaleidoscope, and then mentioning that some of the others exist, and may or may not do stuff. So, I think that's our show. We crossed the 3-hour mark, at least in Raw.
Yeah.
I don't know how the end will work. I think we had some silences as we shuffled through notes and also shuffled through mail. And so we will see you guys next week after that sweet, sweet stream, which is soonish. I'll get some snacks. I'm a little hungry. Stream snacks. And we'll be sure to let you know whatever it is they talk about, even if it was dumb. Some of it will probably be dumb. It's a stream. And tune in for What's Up later this weekend. Hopefully tomorrow after you listen to this. In whatever form you listen to it too. We got a lot of video game stuff to talk about. We alluded to it, but there's a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about stuff and things. Thing stuff. And then just keep an eye out on stuff throughout the week that we do things. Keep making content, keep doing stuff. Alright, well, bye guys. We got to go bury those bodies.
Yeah,
so we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.